I feel we're going to have a big say on if you guys win the league or not.
And that's fine. And
but that's where we are.
That's the only thing that Manchester United can affect in Liverpool.
Who wins that's all we're going to do.
You can just help City a little bit.
But realistically, to say the biggest club in the world is only really having a say, not because they are actually competing for the title,
Bro,
but
it's
because
embarrassing.
They can be giant slayers or whatever.
Yeah. It's embarrassing.
That's kind of sad.
I promise you, Man United, and you make the greatest point about we haven't replaced the players. And Geordie, your point, like you said, they've bamboozled us. They sent in a legend, and we're so excited to see him. I never want to see Ollie get sacked. This is like...
It's hard, isn't it?
How? Do you know what I mean? So I have to back Ollie to the end. Even when I'm not happy, I have to back him, and the owners have done that so nicely, but you can't tell me. We knew we were getting rid of Lukaku and Sanchez, and we bought him no one. That's negligence.
So put it this way, right?
That is negligence.
If you're in a top...
Did you hear the statement they said about that this week?
What?
That, the player we wanted just wasn't available. That was the excuse.
There's no player in the world that's good enough.
Here's the thing.
The striker we wanted specifically, they made a point that they went for someone and he couldn't.
I think
specifically, that is a terrible transfer policy. Then, if you only have one person that you've picked out, you don't have scouts.
It's not true, mate.
Yeah,
it's not true.
Exactly.
You don't think so?
But what I'm saying with that is, what's terrible about that is, if you think that a lie like that publicly is going to wash, then you are patronising your own fans.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking dog shit if you only go out there and go, well, this is the only guy. We pin all our hopes on him.
Yeah.
And I guess that they're referring to Dybala when they say that.
I think they're referring to
not your
Mandzukic. Mandzukic contract ends in 2021. He's a goal scorer with
Mandzukic
incredible
was our plan.
experience. He scored 24 and 43 at Atleti.
I don't think that they would. I don't think they would genuinely. I think that's probably who they were alluding to for the fans to conclude that's who they were going for.
If anything, it's just that they look like they may well have actually been able to sort out a deal for 6 to 12 months because of the fact that they'll let him go on loan. So maybe they're coming out with this information because they're confident they have got that done.
Yeah, but the point is that they haven't got it done early enough. So this part of the season is key. You can't just go into January or wherever and just go, okay, well, now we've got him. It's like, right, you should have had that over the summer because you have more than enough time. You didn't really have any big pressure of a massive tournament this summer to take players away or that kind of thing. You had ages to move.
Well, it's funny you say this, because Tottenham fans are going through this right now as well, where they have seen their club spending money, but now they're hearing their manager saying that I needed more time or we weren't able to fix things in time. You know, we have had your moment. It's a little bit difficult hearing managers or whoever it is from the club saying we still need to fix things in January because you have just had your opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can plan a season with a middle window and go, well, we might bring one or two guys in there, but your actual plan should not be to recruit in January. Your plan should be, well, I mean, as far as I can see for both those guys, my diagnosis is bring great players in the summer, backups in January.
If you can't get the deals done for the men that you want, though, you know, maybe that's what it is. They've brought in Daniel James, who, in all fairness, for a fraction of the price, has completely outclassed
we can't
in
argue
terms of performances.
I think some of their signings, like Maguire, no problem with that. James, good signing. So it does seem like they've turned a corner in terms of philosophy of signing people. It's just not enough of them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I actually admire the direction they're going in. It's like, good direction, just not enough of them. Just to change the subject a little bit, because we have to talk about this, I think. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. We've got Bernardo Silva's issue going on social media right now.
Very kind.
We do have to cover it, as silly as it seems.
Let's cover it.
It's a sensitive issue, but it is kind of silly depending on what side you sit on.
So he tweeted an image comparing Benjamin Mendy to a mascot of a Spanish chocolate peanut brand, drawing, some people say, justified accusations of racial stereotyping, maybe?
Bro, can I go?
Yeah.
I mean, you can go. I think you're more qualified than me.
As the one that is the darkest in the room.
No. There's a lot of melanin on this side. So what I will say is, it was racist. Like it or not, like I actually, it was racist. It was ill-informed, I would say. That's the best way to say it.
Ignorance isn't really
it was ill-informed. It was racial. People jump. The issue, if we really want to get into this, is John Barnes. Like, if you want to get into it, because you can tell a player, don't do that, but then it's what happens with the community. The community needs to say, this is reason why that's wrong. It was a gollywog.
I've seen a lot of people, like a lot of my black mates on Twitter, saying, like, they're coming out. I've got black friends. Right?
Yeah.
They're coming out against
one of us.
John Bonds specifically. And there was times, I guess, like 6 months ago, I heard John Bonds speak on racism in football, talking a lot of sense. I think he was making some good points in the past, but recently there seems to be a massive turn. Can you tell me why this is happening, mate?
I think he's gone for the Katie Hopkins brand. Like, I think he's rebranded it. He wants the LBC contract. He's probably at home, chilling. No one cares.
What is it he's saying, though, that is pissing you off?
It's the fact that he's minimizing our situation. Racism is real in football. Like it or not, it's there. It's part and parcel. And I know your club gets a lot of it. Chelsea get the.
You know what he says though? He goes, "It isn't just a football thing; it's a whole world."
No,
thing.
Racism is a big part.
That's
of
what
football.
he says.
It's a big part of football, but you can't minimize what's happening. You can't say because when you come on and say that, there's someone else. Because the key thing that happens with racism or just that topic. In the UK, we like to pretend it doesn't exist. We like to say, nope, you're being silly, it was a long time ago. No, it's rife, it's still here. Every single club, I get so upset that they just say Chelsea's the racist club. I promise you, when I go up to Old Trafford, I guarantee, if I'm not wearing the kit, if I'm not wearing the United shirt, all sorts of comments come my way. I get called Lukaku, I get called, and I get it, I am a big guy, but then as soon as they see, what's that?
Are they United fans?
United fans. I promise you, on the they like it or not, in football, there's an undercurrent of racism at every club. I don't care what club you support, it's there because it's like. But then we always want to pretend that it's one club. It's the whole thing. So when John Barnes doesn't come out, stamp it out at his root. What he did was wrong. Just say it was wrong instead of you coming on because now. People like to pretend that it's not real. This doesn't exist in football. Players should get over it. They're just being stay like we need you. We need to be all singing from the same hymn sheet, and it's never happening.
Did you hear the Jadon Sancho quote that John Bond said about? I don't want to quote him exactly because it's one of those things where if you get the exact wording wrong, but I think there was something to the effect of what you just said. Like, do you think John Bonds is trying to please people in the media?
100%. You got to think to him. He's not going to be a manager. That's not happening. You got Paul Ince doing it. If you say something egregious or something ridiculous, I will get screen time because there's so many the new players, the new the people that just finished their careers, the Rio Ferdinand era of players. Those players are the new pundits. So why should I listen to what John Barnes says? The only way John Barnes becomes relevant now, and it feels wrong to say that because he is a legend.
I know, but age-wise, you're making a point of his relevance to our generation.
It doesn't make sense. So what can I say to put me into the forefront? Because I'm tired. I want people to see me. No one cares. So I need to say something. And I know if something racist happens, I get a phone call from Sky. And I'm going to be on. Thank you.
You're speaking as John Barnes.
John Barnes, he knows if something racist happens, I'll get a phone call from Sky and I'm going to be talked about.
With John Barnes not being here, I'll read the quote that John Barnes said.
Is this the Sancho quote?
Yeah, and I'm going to try and not make a case for John Barnes, but you're good. Yeah.
So angry.
I've
done
so angry.
He said about Jadon Sancho, if he has a problem with racism, he said, give up football, go into the real world and see what real discrimination is about. Now, to make the case for John Barnes, and not just to say John himself has become whatever you want to call him, could you say that John Barnes is trying to have a nuanced conversation on platforms which traditionally speak to the people who are traditionally in the racist fringes of society, not even the fringes, in the
You mean people who consume mainstream media?
Yeah, in the racist sector. So he's talking to, and I'm not saying that exclusively racism exists in the TalkSport area, the Sky Sports area, but those are big mass media places where predominantly it will be a white audience of a certain age who possibly will have some of these views.
Yeah.
John Barnes is trying to go in there and have a nuanced conversation which is about race.
Yeah.
And with the Jadon Sancho quote, he's not saying, shut up, black guy, and play football. He's not giving the shut up and dribble thing.
What is he doing then?
I guess when I read that quote, what I hear about it is that John Barnes is saying, if you think it's hard as a footballer getting this, try being a normal black person every day in society and see if your gripes are any different.
See, this sorry to cut
That's a
in,
poor
right?
argument.
But it rubs me up really the wrong
Go
way
ahead,
here,
bro.
because what you've got is a man who is from a different area, who has undoubtedly
Area or era.
has undoubtedly experienced like vociferous racism.
When he first went to Liverpool, let's be clear, this man had bananas thrown at him by home fans.
Okay, yeah, but the thing is, you can't. It's all relative. You can't tell someone that their experiences of racism are not up to what you were experiencing.
But do you
What we have to look at
Or
is
any less important because you're a
Right.
footballer.
Thank you.
Listen, the
Is-
fact
is
that he's
realistic-
football, this is his work environment, and in any other work environment, if you had done what Bernardo Silva has done, whether through ignorance or not, you would be fired. There is no other conversation to be had. What we're talking about here is actually John Barnes legitimising racism
go.
or
There you go.
ignorance in itself.
There you go.
Do you
Because the
think-
intention doesn't have to be there for you to be racist.
So do you think that is? Do you genuinely think that's what John Barnes is doing and saying?
I honestly
I think
am
he's
of the
lost that.
belief that John Barnes is from an era where things were very different, and he has now let it slip a little bit because people who really respected a man who was an advocate for black people coming through and being able to do something for themselves in this country and in Jamaica are being outdone by the things he said over the last few weeks. Let's just go over it. We're talking Liam Neeson
That was
deserves
bad.
an award for murdering or wanting to murder a black guy.
That was horrible.
Any black guy, he didn't care which one it was.
For those who don't understand the context, Liam Neeson admitted to once having racist thoughts and he was now ashamed of them.
A lot of people
But
give him
John
the
Bonds,
pass.
John Bonds said, credit him for admitting to that ignorance.
A lot of people give him a
Context
pass because
Number
it's
one.
a thought that you're being honest about. We'll move on. You're entitled to your own opinion, right? I'm just
Cool.
building a case here.
No, I'm just putting context on it.
Next thing, we've got him coming out and saying that his friend Peter Beardsley, who he
Oh
obviously
my
played
God.
with, who has been found guilty of racism and banned from football for a number of months for calling one of his players a monkey.
He lost
black
his job
player,
at Newcastle, for
incidentally.
those who wonder.
Is not only obviously as well immensely out of touch, but John Barnes is now siding with and defending him. So what you're turning into is the advocate for defending racists. It's a dangerous game that he's playing, and I'm not going to lie. A man who I have got a great amount of respect for is being devalued right now. I'm losing it for John Barnes.
I've seen comments on
What?
Twitter from people who, by their own admission, worshipped him. Black fans of his saying how heartbroken they are.
There's two things that I really want to point to here as well. One is that we don't want to look at everything in the eyes of race, right? It's a dangerous game. But at the same time, you can't forget something like context or history, because it's incredibly important in educating yourself and how we and others feel about their lives or who they are.
Yeah.
You don't actually have a right to dehumanize someone in the way that I believe that that cartoon did to Benjamin Mendy,
Right, yeah.
regardless of whether your black friend says it's okay or not.
Yeah.
You having a black friend who says it's okay for you to call me whatever you like isn't an excuse, especially when you put that private WhatsApp message or that thought into the public domain. Then I get to have my say,
yeah.
and it's not on.
I couldn't agree with you more, Hugh.
That's perfect.
Well said,
You
mate.
summed it up perfectly. And I think there's a deeper, darker thing into why John Barnes is doing what he's doing.
Oh,
because
there is,
He knows,
there is,
He
but-
knows that he shouldn't be doing
Did
that.
you
He
see
knows that there's
Guardiola's?
going to be.
Did you see Guardiola's?
This
So,
is, this
so
is
the bigger problem for me was what Guardiola
couldn't
said.
believe-
Can we get an exact quote? Because
Well,
I
the
think
thing
it's
that-
important that we quote Guardiola
one
word for
point
word.
that I don't know the verbatim quote, but one point that Guardiola made, which just didn't make any sense to me at all, was a sort of justification was, well, Bernardo Silva speaks 5 languages.
Huh?
Right?
No, that,
Lawrence, bring up the quote, bro, if you
So,
can.
well, there's quite a few quotes. There's a lot of quotes that he said.
All right.
But to summarise Guardiola, he said, if something happens, it would be a mistake. So what Guardiola is trying to do is give context, possibly in a situation where context is not really a defence. And he's basically trying to say, look, Benjamin Mendy and him are friends, first of all. And he's saying, this happens, and I think John Barnes said a similar thing where he said, this happens behind closed doors, and now he's done it in public. So in many ways, what they're trying to do is say, these guys say it in private, so why do we have a problem with them saying it in public? And maybe they are shining a light on the problem of some of what happens with racism, where people go, well, as long as I say it in private and I don't say it on Twitter, then I'm all good. Because that is what John Barnes actually was saying a few months ago. So the real problem is what happens in people's heads and privately.
And he is right in that, right? But the problem is we have a huge problem in society that football is actually enabling. by not acting upon Lukaku getting monkey chants, by not acting on Moise Keane being abused,
Yep.
by consistently doing this over and over again, you are legitimising people's behaviour. You're making it seem to the world that it's actually okay. So when people see him doing that tweet, they may well look into it. They may not. They may feel validated in their own
100%.
behaviour, doing that to their own friends.
So
And I'll tell you from experience, I have friends who think it's okay to say certain things to me. I will take it in. I'm not going to react, but I now know who you are. And it's ignorant. So as people, to move forward, we have to educate ourselves, because the history of the transatlantic slave trade, we are all buried in it.
Yeah, and-
All of us, the banks that we use,
Yeah,
right? The
yeah.
fact of where you
Yeah.
live, your passport, it's all connected. So you have to learn about what that represents or why people will be upset about it before you start saying, do you know what? He didn't mean anything, or he's a worldly cultured person who speaks 5 languages. If he's so worldly, why wasn't he aware that that is delving into hundreds of years of racial stereotypes?
Nailed it, you. Nailed
yeah. I mean, to add on to that, I think we've without those guys being here and without wanting, I don't really want to defend them. I don't really think it's a defensible thing. I think City should have come out, Pep should have come out, and they all should have gone, this was terrible. We shouldn't have, they should.
It's never going to happen.
That's the worst
Do you know
thing,
what?
Lawrence.
It's not even to jump in there. My experience.
Yeah.
I go to Spain. Yeah, I promise you, no matter what, someone will come up to me and ask me if I've got weed on me.
Yeah.
Guaranteed, anywhere I am, to be honest. So there's a black experience, and it's usually it's sometimes negative the way they see us, and that's why I have a big issue with how Pogba's spoken about. Do you see what I'm saying? Because it's almost one sec.
Power and pace and whatnot.
Not even just the power and pace, but it's the fact that there's almost a how dare you speak out, how dare you have something to say,
okay.
How dare you? You're lucky to be making this money. There's that undercurrent with
I think
a
the Raheem
plethora.
Sterling experience of
There you
watching
go.
him as well.
There you
been
go.
terrible.
It's always there. It's clear. Look what happened the other day with did you see with the Chelsea missed penalty when
Tammy Abraham.
Not the Tammy Abraham one, when Barkley picked up the
right,
ball.
Barkley, yeah, okay.
And then what they said, remember Pogba did the same thing, took the penalty of someone, they said attitude, he needs to be they went on for ages. Yeah. Why? Because again, it's a black player in a position, how dare you do this? You're not allowed to know your role almost, and it's just a disgusting undercurrent in football. And we need greats like John Barnes who command the respect to say no, that's wrong. That's all we need you to do.
Can I make I think John Barnes' energy is a little bit misplaced here. In wanting the debate to go further, I'm trying to see the merits in what John Barnes is saying and trying to see that there's a nuanced conversation that John Barnes wants to have.
It's ridiculous.
But what I'm trying to do is not just have, because I'm also, and I think everyone around this table is against cancel culture and it being about, right, well, John Barnes falls with the guys who are racist and we're the guys who aren't racist. Because I would also hate to be one of those white guys who suddenly one day is trying to have a conversation with someone and someone goes, well, you're racist for saying this. I wouldn't like to have that when I'm trying to have a nuanced conversation with someone and try to explore a subject. It makes it difficult when people write articles villainising Pep and Mendy and all those guys, but don't go at Man City and go, where's the club statement for this?
And
Why
Man
isn't there a party line on
City's
this?
responsibility is to their community,
Exactly,
which is the most disappointing thing about this. Football clubs, they're social clubs, they're for the community to get involved in. If you're actually trying to excuse this, given what he said, he actually said other things that, you know, I don't want to quote because I could be off point, but regardless, some of them was bewildering. And I've got to be honest, if you really think about the way that society views, you know, racism, slavery, this whole type of thing. Slavery, for example, is like a black-owned thing for some reason, when cultures of all types, all flavours, we've all been making slaves forever. You go and invade someone and whatnot, and you bring back slaves. This type of thing is what has by and large, characterised people's view of black people from back in the day. And that in itself has been legitimised with 13th Amendment in the US especially, where you go from slavery to it being illegal unless you're found guilty of a crime, in which case we can enslave you. So basically, we've moved into this world where racist institutions are ruling. And if football is anything, it's a mirroring of society.
Yeah.
So if we're seeing it out there, we can't just keep this contained to John Barnes being the voice of reason. When did he become the person who speaks for me, or for you, or for any minority?
Yeah.
I'm very confused about it. But just one last thing, right? There is a very old, well, it's actually where lynching comes from. I know this is a very deep topic right now, right? It's a little bit...
It's a bit deep. That's cool.
But
No, I appreciate it.
ultimately, William Lynch is a man who is a guy who they employed in many societies, but incredibly important in the south of America, to introduce a way of controlling slaves. He wrote a letter, the infamous William Lynch, which detailed how to divide and conquer black people. And you separate them by pitting old against young. And that is what the media are doing beautifully in front of my eyes. I read between the lines and I see John Barnes pitted yesterday against Raheem Sterling. They want each other to say contradictory, conflicting things that have us having debates like this, where we should be talking about progression, how you and I have moved forward from that. However, I'm well aware it's very difficult to say to anyone, you have no right to be offended, which is why as soon as that message comes out into open air, or John Barnes starts making statements like, if you don't like it, go back to the ghetto, everyone is going to have something to say. That is not representative of many people's view right now. And like I said, I was disappointed.
Right. I think that's the best way to leave it on that subject there.
Well done, boy.
I think Hugh's made some really pertinent points there.
Well done, Huey.
To move the conversation on now, Brian, last night was it last night or the other night? You and I watched Newcastle United get absolutely pumped by Leicester. Not that I took any enjoyment out of it, but there was a sort of a double-edged sword in the game, because Leicester were great. Newcastle weren't.
I don't know if Leicester were great, you know.
Yeah, that's,
You know what I mean?
well, that's what I was trying to sort of get
Felt like
onto.
Leicester were just decent.
Yeah.
I think Newcastle was shit.
Did you have any thoughts on the game? Because I remember throughout the match you were sort of just a bit disenchanted. You and I were sat there, we didn't quite know what to say about Newcastle, did we? Wow, there was a free kick there from David Luiz, and Arsenal just put it...
Newcastle, we just don't have a plan. Do you know what I mean? We just don't have a fucking plan. It's run round for about 5-10 minutes, maybe 15, run out of energy, and then the quality of the other team just picks us apart. And that's all that happened with Leicester. Like, we're just... We're relegation fodder. We're there for the take. And it feels like we're here again. Rafa Benitez Rafa Benitez denied the inevitable, basically. Yeah. And we're seeing, without his defensive expertise, we haven't got that really hard to break down system at Newcastle anymore. Man United on the attack here. Cross in.
Oh, that's actually really good defending.
We haven't got that anymore. So instead, what we've got is a defence that isn't operating as a unit. We got Hayden last week, goes over the bench and says to Steve Bruce to his face, this isn't working. This week, gets sent off for a chuckle.
Did you think it was a red?
Yeah, I did think it was a red.
Really?
I think he goes in between the ankle and the knee, studs up. You're going to get sent off for that in the modern game. And he followed through. He really followed through. So it was an idiot thing to do. So last week he's questioning the manager to his face.
Yeah.
This week he's throwing in a tackle that gets us down to 10 men against a very good Leicester team.
What'd you do with him then? Sorry, just...
Well, I think it's clear that he doesn't respect the manager, basically. The fact that he did that last week and then this week this happens.
Oh, wow.
You know, the week before, we had less than 30% possession at home against Brighton. You know, Watford got beat 8-0 against Man City and had more possession against Man City than we did against Brighton.
31% possession against Leicester.
Right, again, 30% possession. Interestingly, Sky posted something, the worst Premier League win rates from managers with over 300 games. Tells a story. This is the six worst managers, basically, in Premier League history, who've actually been Premier League managers long enough. Sam Allardyce, Joe Kinnear, Steve Bruce, 3 of the 6,
Newcastle.
all not just Newcastle, all appointed by Mike Ashley. Yeah. Now, if you're an owner of a company and you appoint 3 of the worst out of the 6 worst managers to run your company in Premier League history.
No!
Oh my God!
Through, and it's in.
In your face! Get down! That's where you belong! Why is this happening to me?
Oh,
I love
my days, you poor bastard.
I'm so happy.
Look at that. Look
Oh,
at
I'm
that.
so
There it is.
sorry,
There it
boys.
is.
He's on!
He's onside!
No. Where's the VAR?
He's onside.
No, they're gonna
Yeah,
VAR.
that linesman needs to be sacked immediately.
VAR's gonna
You need to sack
gonna
him
overturn it.
immediately. That's fucking illegal.
VAR
Damn
will
it,
overturn
it's
it,
a
right?
goal.
That's illegal.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I hate
There is
VAR.
no excuse for you being that
going to
wrong.
VAR.
VAR, I hate
That
it.
line.
Hello, my old friend. Hello.
Oh, my God.
By the way, I've never seen such a roller coaster.
Oh, mate, this is up and down.
VAR says, get in!
All right,
yes,
Come on,
right
my son! Oh, yes. Needed that. Obama
Do
Yang.
you know what?
Now they can
Oh,
settle.
my
Lucky
God.
that he still put it in because the linesman flagged, so
Yeah.
he could have stopped.
Play to the whistle.
Ridiculous call because he's so onside.
My God, the energies right now. Okay, that's a big
All right.
goal. You see the unity.
Brian, to be clear, the football gods do not want you to talk about Newcastle.
Mate, fuck Newcastle right now.
Newcastle, it's another example of the owners thing we're talking about, right?
We're the worst example. We are the worst. We're headed for our third relegation under Mike Ashley's ownership.
By the way,
And-
that's Harry Maguire.
And there's people still out there saying, you know, he's done a good job. Don't know what you're complaining for. You get rid of a Champions League winning manager. You bring in the manager with the single worst win ratio in Premier League history, 27% win record. This is Steve Bruce here. And then you get rid of Rondon, you get rid of Perez, two players playing really well up front. They're the ones who are scoring the goals. You bring in a young kid in Joe Linton who, he tries, but he's just not ready. Do you know what I mean? Almiron, you talk about number 10s who don't produce anything? Nothing.
What are we doing?
Arsenal are all over them. It's on! You're right.
Oh, God. Saka, you got to be scoring that, mate. 17 or not, you got to be scoring those.
Hey, he's had a decent game, to be
Big
fair.
chance, though. Guendouzi into Callum Chambers, who spread it across the face of the box.
Oh, it's deflected.
Did that come off Pepe?
So it's deflected off. Pepe's cleared it off the line.
You're kidding me.
Jesus.
Oh,
no.
no, it's a corner. Oh, it's a
Corner,
corner.
corner.
Okay.
Really great deflection as well.
How? It's a roller coaster of emotions right now.
Brian,
One or
United
half an
are
hour left.
Sixes and sevens.
To be honest with you, I can't say I'm surprised.
I can't even watch this.
Arsenal had the better,
I can't.
play, in my
I
opinion,
don't
for
know
periods
what's
of the
wrong
first
with
half.
again. Why are we not
Pepe,
dealing with
cross
Pepe?
in.
We're not dealing with.
Oh no.
Deal with it.
That was a terrible.
Terrible.
Can Ashley Young just handball it like that?
No, he's all right. It was a bit off. Definitely off.
You know, with Newcastle, right, I find it interesting because you've got a manager who has been given money, or at least, no, actually, they bought the players before they had the manager, didn't they?
This is the thing, though.
He said he's got no money, and he's
How
gone
much
bought-
money really was spent? Mike Ashley's transfers are always steeped in mystery and we'll pay you later. And I don't believe a fucking word of it at this point. I really don't. And I don't know. It's just bizarre, mate.
I find it interesting just because the players that you've bought are for a particular style of play, and it's an attacking, it's a brave style. Jetro Willems, Joel Linton.
This is the thing. I don't think we had a shot on target, and that was just going out and attacking Leicester. Apparently,
that then is about the manager.
Did you see the interview with Jamal Lascelles after the game? Yeah. I think he handled it well. I'll give him credit, even though normally when Newcastle lose 5-0 and it's a defender, I'm like, yeah, fuck you. But I actually felt a bit sort of sorry for Lascelles. I think as a young guy, you know, when an interviewer's deliberately trying to lure him into fucking saying something stupid, he was very smart in what he said. He just said, this is unacceptable. But it's like, oh, is that it for you this season? Then basically, like, are you fucked? And he was like, well, no, we'll look at this, we'll assess it, and then we'll go again next week. I think Lascelles is a good leader, but we're just going to need a lot
It's what
more.
happens next now for Newcastle, I think. It's what happens in your next fixture. You really do need to
Guess what? It's Manchester United. It's on the kick-off next Sunday, lads.
That's what happens. Yeah. What happens that day?
We couldn't hope that. To be fair, if you're ever going to play Man United, now's the time, innit?
Oh, what a ball, Jacko. Beautiful.
But in an attacking sense, we've got very little. Matt Ritchie's not able to play. Almiron's not delivering. Joe Linton's not ready. And then defensively, yeah, our midfield isn't there either. Really, we need to protect these lads. So this is where we are.
Do you worry, Brian, that if you're still in a bad position in January, and let's be honest, if he's in a bad position in January, then this is a good play for Manchester United.
James, good deflection.
Then Oh, that's a bad tackle there from Manchester United. Then you guys could see some of these guys try and leave a sinking ship. Shaw, possibly even. I don't think the Lascelles will be out till the end.
There's talk of Shaw going to Man City because they need a defender, and Shaw's actually a pretty decent defender.
Yeah.
And in a team full of good players around him, he'd actually be worth it.
Do you think Steve Bruce will last much longer if it continues like this?
Don't get me wrong, we haven't got a good team. We're a shit team, but he's just really shit. Like, there's no idea what he's doing there. There's no idea, man.
Then how good a job did Rafa Benitez do?
Oh, mate. People don't realise the plaster over the axe wound that Rafa Benitez was at that club, and it's all fucking unfolding before our eyes now. And there's not, do you know, I've never lost a game 5-0 and been less surprised in my entire life. I was sat there just like, not even bothered, was I?
No.
Do you know? And that's, I don't mean like I don't care about my own club, but to lose a game 5-0 and not feel a flicker of emotion other than like expected it. That speaks volumes about the state that shit club's in right now, and that's because of Mike Ashley, mate. The players aren't good enough, the manager isn't good enough, and Mike Ashley doesn't give a fuck.
It's a shame that you would have thought that Ashley would have done one thing, and that's just keep Benitez happy. Do whatever you can to keep.
Do it. Pogba. Pog.
Just wide.
Paul Pogba,
Goalkeepers that
just
come
wide
close.
from outside the box. Yeah, mate. The fact that Mike Ashley let Benitez go and played it off as if like he tried to keep him in that, it's like, fuck off. Do you think this is Rafa Benitez, whose family or roots are in England, in Liverpool? He doesn't want to fucking go to China.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, he would have stayed.
Yeah, he would have stayed. After staying with us through the championship.
Yeah, he would have stayed.
You think if you'd given him a reasonable amount of investment in the summer that he wouldn't have stayed again?
Yeah.
Well,
Of course he
it's a
would.
travesty. It's a travesty.
And not only that, but what's interesting about it is that some of those guys are clearly Rafa Benitez-esque signings.
Oh, mate.
So if Rafa with these guys would look very different to, obviously, guys who barely respect Steve Bruce because he needs a beach ball to help his stats.
The one thing about Lascelles was like, he made a comment and he didn't really finish the quote. He was like, well, you know, it doesn't really matter what manager we've got at this point. Like, what he was meaning is if the players don't give the effort that is needed or don't try, if the players aren't pulling their socks up, digging in and making sure we keep our shape and that sort of stuff. But it's crystal clear. This team is massively in shock at losing Rafa Benitez. There is no clue, no idea.
And Rafa Benitez is such an organizational manager. His style, so it's hard. All the players are used to those types of tactics. I don't know what Steve Bruce is talking to them about.
This guy makes
vivid
it.
instructions.
When you go out on that pitch under Rafa Benitez, and this is from people like Jamie Carragher and Stephen Jones, you know what the fuck you got to do.
Yeah.
He makes it super simple, compact, stay together, this sort of stuff. Bruce, I mean, there's a reason why he's got a 27% win ratio in the Premier League, mate. He hasn't got a fucking...
Do you know what the problem is?
He doesn't belong
Bruce
in the
now?
Premier League.
Like, say it goes wrong, so you've had a 5-0, which is obviously a terrible result. Say you happen to lose to United, then another loss. Suddenly people start going to say, perhaps Bruce isn't the right man for the job. Where on earth do you go?
Well, do you know what it is? Do you know what Lawrence was on about before about tanking? This theory about like when you put on a show as if you're trying, but really you're like whatever.
Oh my God!
That was what the appointment of Steve Bruce was.
Yeah.
The appointment of Steve Bruce was pretending like you give a fuck. You're basically just letting this
They
carry
won't want
on.
him to go. He actually won't want that club to go down.
The mistake Ashley's making is he's got a false sense of security because we've come back up twice now that it is that easy, and the next time we could end up Sunderland. We could go down again, and you see your cash cow shrink before your eyes. And Mike Ashley, it's too late, mate.
But isn't that the only thing that's actually going to get rid of him?
No.
I actually think you're right, though. The only thing that gets rid of Mike Ashley is a relegation.
No way.
Is a relegation where we don't come back up, and the asset that the money he's making from the Premier League TV money then is not there. Right now.
Not a chance. Not a chance. The only way to get Ashley out of that club
You got the parity
is
money.
to sell at the peak time. He's a man who is
But they're not
obsessed with
getting
money.
through that peak time. They're not going to achieve it.
They will. If the more money that club is worth, the more likely he is to sell. So if they go down into the Championship,
there's something called like basically there's a point where businessmen though they have to realise is this actually worth being a part of anymore?
right, good money after bad and all that. Yeah,
Sunken cost fallacy.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it needs to happen while they're a Premier League club, because while they're a Premier League club, he
Well,
could
Peter
theoretically
Kenyon, your
stop.
old mate, Peter
Kenyon,
Kenyon is trying to do it, but he isn't stumping up the fucking money.
No.
And it's like, how many times has he flirted with buying our club? Either get the money together or fuck off, pal. Because if you haven't got bags of money around,
But that's
Don't
what
fucking
Ashley.
buy
That's what
us.
Ashley will say to him. That is
Don't buy us.
that is exactly what Ashley will say to him.
When there's part in the summer when you guys were like,
Oh,
you're so close to getting bought.
Yeah.
Dude, don't
They were
even.
going to get. Weren't they getting Jose Mourinho? in
Oh, mate, we were
Mourinho
supposed
in
to be
charge and
the
Ronaldo
next
up
Man
front.
City, man.
Yeah.
The next Man City. I knew it was never going
I
to
was
happen.
in Newcastle when there was like, I think the decision was waiting for it to be tomorrow or something like that, and then that consortium just walked off. Didn't exist.
They bottled it, mate. They bottled it.
I genuinely think a lot of people probably come in and go, yeah, we're good.
But it's such a good club to buy, though.
Well, no,
Like,
I
it's
mean,
such a
you,
good club to
you
buy.
can also, so you know, some animals are like shit all over themselves sometimes
Yeah.
because they don't want to be eaten by the bigger predator.
Yeah.
I sometimes think that Mike Ashley shits all over himself sometimes, so he won't get.
So
caught
he
by
structured.
certain
So when they talk about selling, he structures deals. So like Sports Direct still have to have a presence in St. Joe. Like, and if we get this, then he's owed this amount of money. Like he any deal that he does when he sells up is going to be steeped in still having
Add-ons and all that.
control.
Yeah.
He's never going to be. You don't cut away cancer like Mike Ashley like that. You're going to need chemo for
Do
this
you,
guy.
do you know another side to Mike Ashley that might get rid of him?
A bullet.
Is his no, all of his business falling apart. So
Well, this is the thing. He's
everything-
under threat at Sports Direct. Right?
Yeah,
He's
so
got so much though.
no, but you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
there being this wider issue, so you know,
Corner to Man United.
come on.
big issues which make him need to sell.
Yes.
Maguire.
They would be. Oh my God! Manchester United just put it over the bar. It wasn't even
God.
Maguire. It's McTominay. McTominay is basically. your man
He'd
of
have been
the
on
match
for a
so far.
hat-trick.
Yeah.
Mick Saucy, man.
He needs to score that.
How
Can't
good
ask-
is how good is McTominay?
He's
Who's
very
that?
good.
David
He's
Luiz
very
under the
good.
ball, isn't it?
He's very good.
Oh, David. David.
Shocking.
David.
McTominay, that's
Need to get on
poor.
top of that.
He was so McTominay, man.
Brian, I'm just going to say this.
Come on, Mick.
Manchester United, Chelsea, Wolves. That is your next 3 games.
You'll win one of those.
I mean, to be honest, it doesn't matter who we're playing. I think we'll lose most games anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, what a ball.
Chance for Man
Give it to
United.
him. Give it to him,
Surely.
please. Please.
Oh, why did you
Daniel
stop the
James,
run?
why did you stop running?
That is poor from Rashford, guys. Surely.
Oh,
right
I
across
thought
the
that was amazing.
It was a good shot.
Was it?
No, because Rashford
It looked like a.
It wasn't a
Oh,
cross.
I
He
thought
had
it
a
was
shot
cross.
there for sure, didn't he?
Yeah, it's a shot.
I thought that was a cross.
Head down.
It was a very bad shot.
He's
Deflected
brilliant.
as well.
Yeah.
Look at this.
I mean, to be fair, look at that. That's fantastic defending.
That thing with your hands behind your back, defenders who go with their hands
It
behind their
annoys
back, annoys me as well. Because it can't do you any favours. For your poise, for your balance, it can't help.
If you're thinking about where your hands are, you should be thinking about where your fucking feet are. pal.
I agree.
Do you know what I mean? You Shaka before, ducking his head down when the ball's
Oh,
coming right
mate.
at him.
That's
Get your
unbelievable.
fucking stand up straight, mate. Put
Take
your
it in the
fucking
face.
chest out.
Captain.
Take it in the face.
Take it in the face.
There's no context kick off for you.
Hugh, your midfield can't get a handle on this right now. Manchester United is sort of putting the pressure on. How do you change the game?
How do I change the game? Who have we got on the bench? We've got a little bit of
For you.
Maitland-Niles.
In
We've
your
got
life.
Ceballos.
Shaka should be Shaka. That's a yellow card, by the way.
Bias is
Sorry.
already on, isn't
That should be
He
yellow.
probably likes the fact that we've got a little bit of creativity in there with our little Spanish friend.
Ceballos in there. I mean, who else can you guys bring in is really the big question for
We've
me.
got Reece Nelson on the bench.
Is Nelson a good option for you guys? Joe Willock, is he an option?
I love a bit of Joe Willock.
Yeah.
He looks incredible on these bursting runs where you just can't knock him over, no
After
matter
you
how
highlighted
off-balance
him, I've
he
sort
is.
of been looking at highlights of Willock. I quite
really
like him.
good.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I think Maguire's going to score.
Okay.
I think
Here we go.
Maguire's
Ashley
I don't
Young,
know why.
free kick.
I don't know why.
On the right-hand
I
side,
don't know why. I don't know why. I
to
feel like-
swing one in.
I
It'd be brilliant
really
if this
hope.
happens.
Come on, Maguire. Open up your.
Maguire against
Open it up.
Menduzi, is it? Okay.
Open it up, Maguire. Open it up, Maguire. Maguire.
There he
Done
is.
well.
He did his
Did
job.
very well.
He did
Did
his
the
job.
first part.
That's
We're
as good
rubbish.
as a goal, really.
You got to go out on the ledge.
Yeah.
You had to go out on the ledge. That was good, though.
He's done well.
Oh, come on.
Wait,
Maguire.
has it been both teams lacking quality, or do you think they've cancelled each other out to some extent in this game?
Oh, I think there's also a lack of courage, in my opinion. I think both teams are aware what's on the line. I feel like I expected a bit of a draw potentially here, or a
Yeah.
close game.
No, I get what you're saying.
Do you not think that we've been more all over Arsenal than...
Terrible.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow, here we
chance.
Oh, that's so close. Pogba has been a massive player for United.
He's been...
today.
Yeah, oh, my gosh. We need
Oh,
him. He's
they're
got-
going for it. Look,
Fred and
Fred is...
United
What, do you
gave
know
up.
what's
How
crazy?
much was Fred?
We got 2 Brazilians and both of them are shit.
How much was Fred though? Like 60 million? Or something?
Yeah, and Mourinho just wanted him because Man City did. That's how bad Mourinho was.
It's kind of mad that Fred's just done so little for that amount of money. That might be one of like the worst transfers in Premier League
He's
history.
barely played though, hasn't he? Didn't he get injured when he first came into the club?
No.
One of the same. James
What's
Alcott
a terrible
texted me
Awful.
during the game and said Rashford is apparently carrying a groin injury right now. So that's why apparently
Chance.
Maguire?
Oh, what to say?
Harry
Bloody
Maguire.
hell.
that was a Vincent Kompany.
Harry Maguire.
Harry Maguire,
What an effort.
better shot than Rashford's had all
Oh,
game.
yeah.
Apparently Rashford
Was that
carrying
going
an injury.
top bins?
Mate, that looked really good. That,
Harry.
to be fair to him.
That was bins.
Yeah, that was going.
If he
that was
scored
going
that, I
into
would have
it.
ran around this room.
Really?
I would have been fell over.
To be fair, a lap of this room is actually quite a long way.
I would have got out of breath.
Here you go. Corner Manchester United. Cross goes in. Can Harry Maguire get up for this?
Oh,
Goal
Referee,
penalty.
don't get involved, ref. Don't get involved, referee. Oh, he did get involved. There he is.
Why does Harry
They're so
Maguire?
overprotected, keepers.
Do you think?
Yeah, so overprotected.
What would you rather happen? What, they could get a little bit attacked? Do you
They
know
could
back in
get a
the
little
day,
bit
like, you
attacked.
you could like push a goalkeeper and stuff when he had the ball in his hand.
They shouldn't be more protected than anyone else on the pitch. That's not a foul on the halfway line.
They do have a unique position.
Okay,
yeah,
who's
I get
coming
what you're
off?
saying. So Pereira's coming off, and so did
don't understand them. I
Lingard.
don't
On
understand
comes
those
Fred,
changes.
and on comes Greenwood. So you get your wish, but that sort of
I
changes
don't
the formation. a little
understand.
bit, doesn't it?
I don't
Fred
understand the
and
changes.
Greenwood.
I don't understand the changes. I'm not going to lie to you.
Sort of changes your formation because you've got.
Oh,
Pepe's
wow.
coming
off.
Reece Nelson on
Pepe's
for
off.
Pepe. I'm sorry, lads.
Pepe
but
played
that
a part.
He did play a part, but guys, that's not supposed to be happening.
How do you
No.
feel about that
Do
change?
you mean that because of what Pepe was bought to do and the position
I get
that
it.
you're in
I
this
get
game?
it. I'll be patient. Look, we waited like 8 or something games for Henry to get his first goal. Really and truly, we may have to wait a lot longer for this guy
Big
to come
stat
out of
that,
this
Hugh.
rut.
Look, big stat. Since August 2018, most goals by subs. Arsenal, 14 top.
Okay. So Reece Nelson, is that what they're saying?
That's what they're saying.
The hero.
Was he any good this game?
Ceballos. Nelson had a loan spell at Hoffenheim in the Bundesliga. And in the first 5 games that he played for him, he scored a couple of goals. Admittedly from close range, but he looked lively, energetic, positive, and everyone was thinking that he could be the next Jadon Sancho. I think we've overstepped the mark a little bit there, and he is going to need a little bit more time. And the emergence of Saka, who's been so brilliant recently, has just kind of put him in the shadow. So having signed Pepe, I guess he's playing second fiddle.
That phrase, the next, very rarely seems
Oh,
to
that
work,
is a
doesn't it?
disgraceful tackle.
Fred, that's
Fred,
who Fred is.
absolutely outrageous.
Unnecessary named after our mascot. It's ridiculous. He doesn't deserve the
No,
name.
Fred the Red.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Fred the Red's a club legend.
Fred the Red.
Yeah, but what is that Fred
Do you
that
think
we
you
have?
guys are playing closer to a 4-4-2 now, or is Fred playing like Fred's sort of playing like a weird position? You're almost a 4-4-2, to be honest.
Fred is pants. Referee, get involved. Fred is rubbish. I'm sorry. And fans have been crying out for Fred to play instead of Matic. Don't understand that.
Well, I mean, that's a lesser of two evils, really,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, but still, like, at least Fred is rubbish.
But
literally.
Matic is, I don't know if you've noticed, is rubbish.
Not like as bad as Fred, though.
Really?
Not, I promise you.
Terrible first time.
In terms of like Serbians I've seen in the Premier League, I'd say he's probably dropped to a new low. Like
He was the superstar.
Ivanovic
He
had
was
the dip
good
as
with
well.
Vidic
though.
had a bit of a
Ah,
cliff.
Ivanovic.
Ivanovic had a
Matic
dip.
had a bit of a cliff.
Ivanovic, though. Worse than Ivanovic.
had a bit of a cliff.
Worse than Ivanovic.
Huh?
Worse than Ivanovic.
To be fair, what I'm saying is there's a correlation in the graphs. It's true, though, isn't it? There's a bit of a... Vidic hardly had a...
Shaka again!
Xhaka's filth.
How late?
Mate, Xhaka is filth.
Where's
Xhaka shouldn't be on this pitch.
Maybe it's just, sticking one in on the player that's just come in.
Mate,
but that was
Xhaka,
so
is that his
late.
first... He's got
So
put there.
remember, you had to pull back.
76
You had to pull back earlier.
And the one that you just said 5 minutes ago.
There you go.
Mate, Xhaka is filth, isn't he?
Just to let you know, Lawrence, the Sideman fans have...
Moved in,
I
have
think
they?
they've realised we've made a video.
Yeah, I know. Just so you know, there was
Who have you
when I
made a
was
video of?
scrolling through my
The
replies.
Sidemen made a few jokes about us, so we made a few jokes back. And obviously, we know the boys, so we thought it'd be in good humour. But I sort of forgot. I forgot that their fans are quite protective of them.
What have they got? Like a really
Right.
tribal support?
I mean, the most tribal in the UK.
Really?
But it is all
And
love.
what have you seen? What's been...
Oh no, just they're taking us a bit too serious.
I'd say, if you were to literally transcribe some things, then that's probably how the Sidemen fans see things.
No, but I hope most of them realise it is all just banter.
Did you go in on somebody?
I'm not sure I did.
Did somebody go in on them?
Who's at this table right now? Maybe.
Perhaps eating popcorn.
They'll love it. They'll love it.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair.
How many times have I told them they're shit at football in person, man? It's all good.
Yeah, and how many times they tell you shit on commentary?
Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah.
Come on, boys.
Daniel James.
Daniel
If
James
you can't
has
joke with
been
someone,
amazing.
a friendly ribbing is almost as good. And Brian said this to me many times. Come on, let's just have a friendly ribbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the brand name. Sorry. Adult commentary, this guy. We got a corner at Manchester United for Ashley Young here. Maguire just did some sort of hand signal.
Socrates against
Don't know what this is.
Maguire.
Really over here, isn't it?
How did Gene? Oh.
Done very well there.
Oh my lord!
Man
The
United
quality, the quality,
Comedy
the
football.
quality.
You see
on
this level of
display.
football.
You know, if
That's
you're
the
that,
Brazilian.
It's unbelievable. That is Hackney Marshy.
Yeah. Look at
That is
Hackney Marshy.
do you know the best thing about it?
Don't
Do you know the best thing about it there? There was an Arsenal player who genuinely tried to clear it, but put it around the penalty spot.
Look at this.
Watch this for a clearance.
This
from
is
the-
Arsenal versus Manchester United.
Watch this.
Two of
You
the
see Sky
brilliant. It's like underrated
Mate, cut
football.
this. We don't
Mate,
want people saying
two,
this. People won't
two-
renew next season.
Two of the top 3 most glorious clubs this country has to offer, and that is the display on offer.
Well done, kid. Saka
That is
getting his
absolutely
assist.
outrageous.
Beautiful.
Uncomfortable
This kid has a very
done
bright
well.
future.
He's done
Willock
well.
replacing him.
How
but
old,
yeah.
how old is Saka?
I think he's 17. He might be 18 now, but I think
Dude.
he's
Is he
17.
that young? Yeah.
Yeah.
He was one of the brightest players in the first half.
Yeah.
18. He's 18.
Very, very talented. 18.
Okay.
18 now.
He's
Sorry.
18. Come on.
It just helps when you just lower the age, innit?
Well, he was 17 recently. Come on.
I think he's 9.
Now, I've got high hopes for him, especially seeing as we
Don't
let go of
give it
Iwobi
away.
when
Don't
we
give
perhaps
it
should have
away
let go
now.
of Mkhitaryan.
That was actually a really good Red Hot Chili Peppers song.
I don't know.
Give it away, give it away.
We give it away now.
I listened to a really good interview actually the other day with Flea, who's like a proper chill guy now.
Oh, okay.
Just lives out in LA.
Oh, no.
Cross in. Oh, and Fred
Fred.
clears up. See, the Brazilian. Respect.
Don't, no, you can't.
Respect the name.
Oh,
Don't let me down,
Hey,
Freddie.
here's that new identity.
Freddie, please.
It's that new philosophy of playing it out the back.
That's right.
Yeah.
Even when we're under pressure, play out from the back.
You can't tell me that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hasn't influenced the culture by trying
That's
to make
right.
Manchester United play it out the back.
That's important, though.
Yeah. Does that annoy you a little bit that people say that Pep Guardiola has influenced playing it out the back and that
Oh, they're
Manchester
getting.
United are playing it out the
Guendouzi's
back?
getting bullied.
Well, I'm not
he?
allowed to talk about Pep because we're not. It's not right, innit? It's like
yeah, it's best not to right now, you know.
him talking to me, really.
Wow.
Like, there's
What do
some
you mean
things that are
talking
not
to
allowed.
you? You guys are
There's some things
irrelevant.
that are not allowed, bro.
Look, we're
You know,
Arsenal are as irrelevant as United. Be realistic.
There you
Look.
go. But you've been irrelevant for longer.
Wow.
Really?
There's some weird
no.
rumours going on
You-
Twitter right
You've
now
both been in that
about. I'm not going to go into detail because it's probably bullshit, but Ericsson and Vertonghen.
Yeah.
It
What?
seems like bullshit.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Is it?
The
there-
Vertonghen thing. Ericsson's been flying into Mrs. Vertonghen. No, the other way around. Vertonghen's been flying into Mrs. Ericsson.
yeah,
Allegedly.
It's probably bollocks though. It sounds
That's what
rubbish.
she said.
Yeah.
It is bollocks.
Are we talking-
It's definitely bollocks.
Wait.
It's a screen
So
grab of
Ericsson's
someone's
wife.
text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ericsson's wife. There's a rumor about her and somebody else. I don't know.
What, the
Just
John
screen
Terry
grab of the
special?
text.
Yeah.
And Vertonghen.
Is it a scream grab of a text?
The
is
John
it?
Terry. Huh? He's done the John
The
Terry.
John Terry special.
I'm
John
being-
Terry
Oh, no.
special.
We've been here before.
We know this.
Oh wow.
Oh,
wow.
my word.
Oh wow.
That's fair.
That's a fact.
It's probably bollocks. though, right?
Clothesline on the keeper.
Yeah. Apparently, it's some people sort of they know that Ericsson might be off in January. They're
Justified.
Big fan of that.
trying to make her job application, apparently.
I missed it as well. I was like, yes, fair.
This KJ, you're so animated during the match.
That type of thing has happened before, though. Courtois and De Bruyne.
Not even
But, yeah, it has.
as well. That's what's
No, Courtois
Yeah.
and De Bruyne.
Really?
John Terry and Wayne
Why,
Bridge.
that's why we sold Kevin De Bruyne, because one of them had to leave, and we were like, well, De Bruyne's all right, but Courtois is going to be the man for the next decade. Worked out perfectly.
Old safe hands.
Yeah. No, but
Who was it? Which way was it?
it was Courtois. Courtois.
A dirty
good
bastard.
run. Good
Yeah.
run. Good
Yeah.
run. Can you do it, Rashford?
No.
When
You can't.
we're off, I've got loads of Courtois for you.
Nothing-
I've got loads of Courtois chat.
I've got quite a bit of Shaka chat for you guys as well.
Great. I look forward to it.
For a club captain, I'm kind of surprised.
I really
beats
didn't want
Wayne
to.
and Terry though. Does it?
Huh?
Nothing beats Wayne.
Oh no, Wayne Bridge, Sean Terry.
Well,
Three minutes.
interestingly, I don't know if
They
it
weren't
does.
teammates at the time, though, were they?
It wasn't even his girlfriend at the time.
Look at Rory.
Just all I'm doing is pointing the facts out. I'm just going to let you make up your own minds once I present the facts.
The other side to that is it does.
It was his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, it treats the woman as a bit of a possession. It's a bit like, that's mine, you can't really do that. And John Terry's like, I don't believe in possession like that. I'm sort of a progressive.
Yeah.
To be fair,
Yeah,
though,
John Terry is very white. Can you know? John Terry is very white.
Terry's a liberal.
I've read it all. I've read it
John
all.
Terry is very
are
white.
you trying to trigger him?
Are we saying that John Terry was innocent in the scandal?
I'm saying he was. I'm saying he was guilty, but the person who he was guilty toward
Was an ex-girl.
That was a mistake.
No, the person who has a right to have a gripe with Terry is his wife,
Yeah.
not Wayne Bridge.
But why did Wayne Bridge not
you
shake the
slept.
hand then?
Why did
Because
his
Wayne
wife
Bridge
not-
did have a gripe, but I think he had no right to. It was his
Why
ex-wife.
not?
It
Are
was his
you sure
ex-girlfriend.
Well, Wayne Bridge called dibs.
No, wait, guys, are you saying that he wasn't actually with her at any point? They
No,
were
no,
It was
fully
his
broken
it
up.
was his ex-girlfriend. It was Wayne Bridge's ex-girlfriend.
Is that the spin that you lot
Oh,
created?
that's the truth.
Okay.
That's the truth. But
I don't know
Probably-
about that. I don't know about
I
that.
feel like you're
Friendship and
dismissive,
guy
you know.
codes.
Yeah.
It's just
no,
like
no, no. You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it.
It's
But
murky
let's-
waters.
Let's not get it like
Nah, it's
we're
good-
not
it's
we're not
good-
on the Ryan
it's
Giggs
good,
level
It's good
of
to
things
know
here,
this,
are we?
Rory, because obviously if you live by this code, just good to bear that in mind. Just so I know 10 years from
Yeah,
now.
she's from the northeast as well.
Wow.
And just to correct you, that was Ryan Giggs' brother's ex. By the way.
Arsenal on the attack, yeah.
This
On the
is
edge
it.
of the 18
This
yard
is it.
box, it's a cross in.
What we gonna do, guys?
Nah, nothing.
Oh,
nothing.
Papa.
We're dominating nicely, sitting in their final third. Gwendouzi.
That's lovely from Gwen
forward.
Doozy. That was lovely.
Brian, you were going to move the conversation
This
on
would
there.
hurt. This would really
Stop
hurt.
doing
This would.
Fuck knows what I was going to say. Fuck knows what I was going to say, mate. Rovin's just eating me fucking popcorn. I'll be having that.
I love that you moved the bowl as well.
Yeah.
I love you just moved the bowl.
Rovan at this point is so one of the family, he's so familiar with everyone.
Nick the popcorn.
Do you know what I mean? He's supposed to be getting all the beautiful angles and that, and he's worried about the fucking... We've got only got 5 minutes
Please
left.
no. Please
You know what I
no.
mean?
It's only
Please,
salted.
please, boys. Please.
Another corner.
I really thought that was
You're
going
under
in.
pressure right now. You're under pressure. Come on. David Luiz. Oh,
Boys.
This is a classic
out,
1-1 though,
hold it
innit?
out.
Both teams desperate for 3 points, so
Hold
they're
it
settled
Yeah,
for
end
a
the
point.
draw. Yeah.
Fucking...
hold it out. Or does it? Reece Nelson.
I was hoping to
for
throw
Whitby in a
someone under the
corner.
fucking bus tonight.
Boys. Come
Well, you can throw them both.
Still
under the
time.
bus.
Well, let's settle for the side, man.
on. Come on.
So
Come on.
it's-
Come on.
Awful corner. Absolutely awful.
Counter. Is
Now,
it in there?
Man United on the
Is it in
counter
there?
attack. Oh, now this looks promising.
Oh, run it.
Pace.
Run it.
Look at the pace.
James on the left. Goes in. Oh, and it's
Well done,
well
Willett.
tackled.
Oh, look at this leader.
Easy.
Oh,
he's definitely...
throwing him around like a cockler. Incredible.
Like a cockle.
Coquelin. Did he
I
leave?
love- no,
Wait, is that what Hazard?
No,
What Hazard?
no,
What
take that back.
Thank you
Right,
very
well
much.
done.
Thank you very much, Hugh. I love that.
Didn't he
Did you-
leave?
Hang on, everybody just ignored that. Thank you, Hugh. I love that reference. Just like a cockler.
Who threw Coquelin round?
Eden Hazard when Chelsea beat
In all,
Arsenal 3-1.
in all fairness, let me just stick up for him a second. He was the only one that tried
Bothered to
to
make
bring
the
him
tackle.
down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And momentum is what did that, not
Yeah.
Hazard's brilliance. But
No,
a little
there's-
bit, a little bit
that's
of
where you're
both.
incorrect, but I appreciate the initial statement.
Hazard does have incredible course.
Do you feel
It's
that
the
Hazard?
batty.
Do you think Hazard's gone there at the wrong time though? For Roman
Looking that way. But he won't be getting in our team now anyway. We've got Mason Mount.
Excellent band.
I tell you what, though, the straight face, I rate that. How you manage that is unreal.
Rory.
Honestly, you'd be a great liar, Rory.
Frank Lampard's Chelsea revolution. 13 of Chelsea's 14 Premier League goals this season have been scored or assisted by an academy.
It's just so
Graduates.
good, isn't it? It's so wonderful. Frank Lampard's Chelsea is just it's the
are we
happiest
gonna-
Chelsea we've ever had.
Are we going to
I
start
feel
calling
like
this
you lot have that. You're really happy.
the class of 2019?
Definitely.
You're going to have
Definitely.
that?
Yes, we are.
Thank
You've got-
God, because I'm sick of hearing about the class of 92.
Wait
You can
until
never get
the,
tired of that.
the exciting thing will
28 years ago.
be the summer
England. Yeah.
This England team.
Tammy Abraham.
It's going to be a spine of
Go
England
on,
players.
Joseph!
Ashley Young loses
Go on,
the ball.
Joseph! Look at those legs. Look at him striding. Driving forward.
Slide.
Surely.
Composure. Love finds the pass. Ceballos.
This is it.
Cuts in. Weaving. Oh, God, it's miles away. What was that?
There's the maddest noises you make in football, you know.
I like the weaving. Oh, it's miles away. What was that?
Is it deflection? Surely. Oh,
You'd
no.
hope so,
It's
wouldn't
just
you?
very
Complete malcoordination.
It's like a late ejaculations.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like a later ejaculation.
Oh, yeah, an early one's a lot more of a. Oh, sorry about that.
Wow.
It's a lot more of a Newcastle sound, dude.
We didn't need to do that.
There's only one Daniel James.
Daniel James could be signing of the season so far.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Name a better one.
Oh,
Daniel James. Daniel!
Outside, inside. No one's there for Man United there. And it comes away, and it's Guendouzi.
Guendouzi has also been fantastic so far this season.
Yeah.
Keep going, keep going.
No.
Daniel James. Whip it in.
Wow.
What are we going to do?
Real chance for Man United here.
No. Wow.
Is that Maguire?
That's Maguire, yeah.
Dribbling into the box.
Jinky run.
Oh, wow. The Arsenal ball's just getting kicked off.
Also, if Maguire's jinking into the box, who's defending? That's the worry.
That's a very good question.
Like when that counter attack inevitably comes.
Yeah, it's a very good question. Aubameyang's on his own.
What are you
somewhere.
doing, son? Real good crossing though for Man United. And nobody there. Where is Lukaku? He's in Italy, I'm afraid.
Don't you think it's so weird that we become a crossing-in team and we don't have a player to cross it to?
Finally, you play just his strengths.
Yeah.
We're not getting the pass down on Lukaku. Better sell him. And I was like, what are we going to do, boss? Cross it into the box now.
So bizarre.
Fucking ridiculous.
Lukaku must be watching this, literally like.
Yeah,
fuck
laughing his
you,
head
what
off.
are you gonna
Laughing
do?
his head
Yeah.
off. Playing
Sat next to
brilliantly, the main
Sanchez.
man,
High-fiving
massive
Conte.
club.
Well done,
with,
son.
Did you see him
with the best
Conte?
manager in the world.
Chest bump. Oh, wow.
They love each other.
Conte
just
loves
brilliant.
being one of the lads.
They love
like,
it.
loves that. Yeah.
Conte's such a boy.
Saucy!
I'll tell you what, McTominay just.
Oh, free
Oh,
kick.
we are
Reynolds.
kidding.
No, free kick, free kick.
What a run by McTominay that was. I've got to give credit to him. That was
Did
so
very well.
important for Man United there. He's just won them a really big free
Oh,
kick.
God.
Look at this.
All right.
Oh, David
Surge.
stepped up. Yeah, love that.
Where do I know that from?
Oh, it's one of my songs. Caramel, no chicken.
I'm sure I've
All
heard.
right.
I'm sure I've heard that.
You have.
Oh, this is a
Oh
big
my
chance.
lordy, this
Right
has got a
on
goal.
the D.
This is it.
Come on.
This is it. Who hits it? Young?
Rashford's putting it down.
Anyone.
Rashford.
I would love
Pogba?
us to win this game. I would go
Fred.
mental. Oh my God, that
Fred's
lose
a
my mind.
big set piece.
Is there an obvious? Is there an
I'm
obvious
glad to
winner
know
for
that.
this? Who
'cause
takes it?
I want to know what
Fred.
Fred's good at. I really do want to know
Pieces are
that.
apparently incredible. He's Brazilian.
Oh, but
The young
Rashford
has
stepping over.
previous history,
Oh
but he's
no!
stepping away
But
from
I
it.
don't care. As long as we score it, I don't care who takes it.
Rashford literally turned around and went.
If you don't get in, I'm gonna be pissed.
Here we go. This is
Oh,
Just because,
boy.
what is this? 20 yards out. It's as close as it can get
It's
to a
perfect.
And let's pay
Perfect
attention to the
position.
minutes.
here's the pressure here though. Here's the difficult side of it. Is getting it up and down like that.
Right.
It's very close.
I love
right?
that.
It's right on the edge.
It's 90th minute, lads.
Does
This would be a winner.
That was top class punditry, right?
Does
right
he
there.
lay it off?
If you lay it off, you should be whipped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. Will
Please.
he
You know,
lay it off?
you've got
Please. I'm not.
you've
gonna
got the
watch.
left winger
I'm not gonna watch.
to the left
Yeah,
of them.
James,
I'm not gonna
yeah.
watch.
James is available
He's
for a little
loitering,
pass,
isn't he?
isn't
I'm not
he?
gonna watch. But
They
tell
might
me.
just pass it him and let
I'm
him
not
have a
gonna
shot here.
watch. Tell me.
Surely breaking the rules. Is it not? 1
there is
metre
something
away.
to do
Is that
with
what
I'm
they're
not
saying?
gonna watch.
I don't know, like.
I'm not gonna watch.
So you're not allowed to be in the wall anymore, are you?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch.
So they're
Okay,
not
here we
in the
go.
wall.
It's
Let's
Rashford.
see.
It's Rashford. It's a big save from
Great save.
Leno.
Wow.
Oh,
And
who's that?
Greenwood misses the follow-up. Tossed in by
Still
Maguire.
there.
That was a massive hand there from Leno.
Massive
Leno
save.
got
Huge.
Well
armed.
done,
Yeah,
Leno.
strong
Big
free kick
save.
as well.
Strong
save.
wrist. It's been busy.
Wow.
Don't foul him. Don't foul him. Perfect.
Very good save.
Come on, United.
That United motor
It's a
on the
Klingon
edge
job
is
for
so
Arsenal
annoying.
right now.
Good keeper, isn't he?
Amazing. Yeah. If
Good
he was at
kick.
Liverpool, the same.
This is a perfect result for Chelsea, though, isn't it? No.
I don't know.
We can check
No.
that in a minute.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Really?
We will see.
There's something. There would have been something great about one of these two teams. And
Oh,
managers.
wow.
What
Lindelof.
the hell was
I've
that?
never seen anything like that.
Suddenly the pressure's on. Suddenly the pressure is on.
You know, like in a computer game where they miskick it and the physics go all
Oh,
up?
yeah. That's
I
it.
love the fact that people who make FIFA watch this going, see? This does happen. Told us.
Yeah, to be fair,
If Lindelof
Will
is
it-
the reason,
will
if
it break it
Lindelof
through?
is,
Surely
if
he's gonna pass
Lindelof
it.
is the
Pass it.
reason,
Must
if
go.
Lindelof
Oh
is
my
the
God.
reason,
waste.
Terrible
Oh
pass
my
into his
God.
feet there.
Oh,
a
wow.
waste. Yeah.
Wow.
Could
my
have laid
God.
it just ahead of
Nelson,
him.
bro.
get there,
No,
get there,
that's
please.
fair.
Do the right thing. Let's go. Let's go.
4 minutes.
It's gonna hurt somebody.
I feel the pain.
It's gonna
here.
hurt somebody.
That was a goal waiting to happen, mate.
Goal waiting
That
to
was a goal waiting to happen.
You've got to teach your kid, coach your kids, right? Practice with both feet. I mean, that
Is
was
it- is
an
it gonna be one of
unbelievable
those
opportunity.
nights?
He's laid it up perfectly.
Will it be one one of those
And it ends up a
nights?
pass back, doesn't
Will
it?
it be one of those
Oh,
nights?
you're kidding me.
Will it be one
it's
of those
Greenwood.
nights?
Is this the
Will
time
it
to
be
make
one
a
of
name?
those- No, it's not going to be
Just
one of those
wait.
nights. It's not going to be one of those.
God, he looks young.
Yeah.
17.
He looks so young.
Even his
He's
hair
like a
looks young.
child,
Yeah.
doesn't he? It's like a kid.
You make me feel so young.
It really does. He don't. Now there's a man who doesn't
I
look
tell
young.
you what, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer used to be the babyface assassin. Now he just looks old.
Yeah.
Oh, he looks-
Management made
looks
him
just
look.
looks like a really old woman.
He's gone from babyface. Now he just looks dead. Like I've never seen someone that pale. Get a holiday on you, pal.
Yeah, he needs 2 weeks in Mykonos
We need to
urgently,
get.
doesn't
We
he?
need, did they not have sunbeds at Old Trafford?
That is a man who
Jesus.
needs 2 weeks on a Greek island really
Honestly.
quickly.
As a fellow,
Please,
sort
boys.
of
Please,
clear-
boys.
His
Please,
skin,
boys.
his skin is grey, Rory.
He's, yeah,
As a
yeah.
fellow
We should do a
clear
whip
guy,
round.
it's,
Do a
you
whip
take
round.
a
He
draw,
needs,
innit?
can someone get him to Marbella quick?
We just get some fake.
Big
tag.
trouble. Yeah.
Is this it? Is this it? No.
He also looks like a. He looks like an old woman to me.
No, yeah.
I'm hoping.
Something's gone weird about
I've seen a grandma who looks like.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got a free kick just on the halfway line for Arsenal.
Let's
Yeah.
just draw.
Final chance of the game.
Arsenal surely just going to pump this right into the
lump it and
penalty
hope for the
box.
best.
Go for it.
Will this be an absolute
Pump.
screamer? Screamer.
Last chance saloon. Here we go. Willock.
Let's just draw it.
Yeah.
Nelson, let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
no,
Take
no.
him down. Oh, it was
Is that not a
awful.
foul?
No, it's not a foul.
Yes, it is a foul.
Referee, come
Yeah.
on, at your age.
Yeah. Actually,
Has he given it? Has he given it?
I can't
You
tell.
can't do that, rest.
Too
definite.
tight.
Please tell me that's a
With
foul.
all, with all that Jack has done.
Yeah, it's a foul.
No, he's wait.
It's a foul. You can't have
Dude,
your arm around his shoulder.
it's a 94th minute. There's 4 minutes of extra time already played.
This is
We've
it,
got
last
a
kick of the
deadly
game.
free. This
These
is
are the
a real
footballing
dangerous
gods.
free kick.
This is
yeah.
what the footballing gods do. This is it. This is it.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
This is my debut on-
Twitches like a rabbit.
This is my debut on the kickoff.
Sort of want him
This
to
is what
nick it.
Be
happens.
ready, baby. Be ready.
This
We're
is what
ready.
I
happens.
swear Hugh just does that.
Here I go.
Give it a bit.
I really don't want it to
Survive.
happen, and I will celebrate.
Is this Xhaka over the ball here?
Ceballos to whip one in.
No.
Last chance saloon for Arsenal.
David,
One man.
If this goes
Drama
in,
in the
It's going to be
David.
hilarious. It's going to be
David.
hilarious for Old Trafford if it's Nick's.
Oh my
Nick's team.
God.
Big head on it.
David.
Sort of wanted to happen.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
There it is, whipped. Awful.
Terrible.
Actually, awful. Didn't even beat the first man.
Terrible. That's that. Isn't it?
End of the game.
Thank
then.
you.
Can I ask who in the 94th minute? Who couldn't beat the first man on a free kick there? Who was it? Ceballos.
You've got the best opportunity at the best time to win the game. Bit of quality, a tiny bit of quality,
Cheers, mate.
and you won the game.
Well played. Here's to endless years of misery and disappointment.
We got to say there, congratulations to Manchester United finally break into the top 10 this season. Well done, guys.
Oh, that's huge. That's
wow.
half the table.
Oh, well,
9
10
points.
Well, I thought we were going to finish
9
ninth this
points
season.
from 7 games. Tell me how it feels.
What's that?
9 points from 7 games. Manchester United.
Okay. I predicted.
They won't go down with
predicted-
that.
I
They won't
predicted
go
that
down.
we-
They won't go down.
I feel we finish around there.
Yeah,
season.
I agree.
Literally.
Seven
And I've
games
accepted
played.
that.
10.
Just to put this in
Ninth. I
perspective,
said we'll finish ninth.
Manchester United 12 points behind Liverpool, 7 games played.
Incredible.
Amazing. I never thought we'd see the day here. That's. I know there's a difference in class between the two teams, but this is just like unreal.
I don't look that high up anymore. Literally.
Yeah, are you looking at like? Is it weird for you? Because obviously back in the day, you look
Yeah.
at fixtures, you look at the league table, you're looking at Chelsea, you're looking at Arsenal, Man City.
Yeah.
Now you're looking at like Palace,
I do.
Bournemouth. You're like, who they playing next?
I do.
Is this a bit weird?
I do. No, it is weird. It is weird. I feel like it's crazy because I'm so used to success, and this is incredible.
Yeah.
I don't understand what's going on, and now I can feel like how you feel probably.
Yeah.
Like
look
you go
further
into
down the league,
games-
Lawrence. I just want to see the bottom 10 because Man United on 9 points.
Who's sniffing
Just
at
to
us?
be clear, I just want to make
Same
it
as
clear
Burnley.
here.
Same points as Burnley.
Pretty much, Newcastle are 1 win away from being 1 point away from Man United. We're second bottom.
So you
we're
guys
second
are
bottom.
having a nightmare season.
So if Newcastle
God.
beat Man United,
God.
we're 1 point away from Manchester United.
That might drive me over the edge. It's amazing. It is. Do you know my team? This is what. Go on, Ollie.
Joint with Burnley.
Go on, Ollie.
You are joint with Burnley after 7 games
Can I
played.
also say
score
that-
more than one goal.
No, I just need to finish, Lawrence.
Yeah.
I'm not quite done yet. Sorry, mate. We've got Manchester United 1 point ahead of Sheffield United, 2 points ahead of Wolves, Southampton, and Everton. So it's just perspective, lads.
Can I just say this, right?
Go ahead.
Earlier on in the season, we were sort of saying, oh, you know, the table it's about 8 to 10 games where the table begins to shape up.
Yeah.
Next game is the 8th game of the season.
quarter
the
of the way
table
through.
is beginning to take
The
shape.
table is shaking.
100%.
Quarter of the way through now.
Yeah.
You've got to stop believing what you're seeing.
You've got to start. You've got to start thinking.
Yeah, we're
so I'm
tenth.
not saying Liverpool are on to win the league, but what I am saying is that Manchester United are in 10th position. Newcastle are just one win away, like Brian said.
That's our season.
Newcastle play Man United next to you. If we win, we're 1 point off Man United.
Yeah,
Simple as that.
but Lawrence,
It could happen.
the shape, the shape.
I mean, I'm looking at this Man United team thinking, we could beat this.
That's off the season. No,
Hey, I love it if you
and
beat them.
you know what?
I would love it.
That's off the season. That's off the season. I'm not like I said to all my friends. I said, prepare yourself. The banter is going to be immense. This is what we're looking like, but we have to back him.
They said, mate, support your local club.
We have.
I would say.
With Ollie, though, you're still backing Ollie. I do respect that. I do respect that.
I have to. Obviously, a loss today would hurt, and depending on how you gave it, I would have went home and thought. I don't know what I would have done. A loss to you guys as well will kind of draw me over the edge.
I genuinely think that one thing that will keep Ollie or give him more time will be doing something against Liverpool. Just
That's
taking-
literally that's
just
all we
taking
can.
points off Liverpool
That's
this
all
season.
we can do.
For me, that's exactly how it works. Fans are so fickle that
We are.
kind of thing means so much. Like, it was only when Tottenham started regularly finishing above Arsenal that Arsenal fans really got the hump with Wenger. Up until that point,
Yeah, it's
like
true.
Arsenal fans went a decade without a trophy. They didn't really care. The second that Tottenham started knocking on their door, they were like, "Hold up, we need to change it."
Yeah.
Hey.
And that's how I feel about Liverpool. Literally, as soon as I see Liverpool doing well, it hurts to the core. I'm not going to lie to you, it does hurt.
Just looking at the table at the end of last season, West Ham finished 10th. Is that where you see the level of this Man United team now? I mean, I know they beat you
Yeah.
recently. Is that fair? Is that where you feel like you're
that
going
was cold.
because West Ham beat you recently. So I do feel like this is the reality now. You're a West Ham.
Yeah.
No way, mate.
Take away
What do you wanna call
Pogba.
us?
Take away this
What
Pogba.
do you want to call us?
Is that a West Ham team?
What do you want to call us?
Manchester United aren't going to actually finish 10th, though. They're 10th at the moment.
I genuinely, I've said this since before the start of the season. I was in. I think they'll struggle to make top 6,
Yeah.
mid-table. I
Ninth.
genuinely think.
I think our lowest finish will be 9th.
Yeah, I think around there.
9th. But I'm not. I've told. Listen, all fans watching right now, the camera's on me. Listen, prepare yourself.
You do.
Winter's coming,
I
fam.
love it.
Winter's coming.
Winter's coming, fam. You man,
I love it.
Leave all WhatsApp groups.
Yeah.
Find a new sport. I started watching cricket. It's good.
Yeah.
There's
Play
man that do
PlayStation.
this.
You know what
Bro,
I mean?
Look
do
after your
something,
health
fam.
and sanity first,
Fam.
you know? Because
Because
these
it's not
guys
worth it.
will drive you down. They will
Bro.
drive you down, honestly. Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
gonna-
the
Arsenal,
thing- the
what you-
game changer though, January.
Wow.
What if you go out and do some big business then? Or do you just think that that's not even in the plan for this Man United chairman?
I can't see it in the plan. Literally, I think United, again, as to what you're saying, I don't know what the plan is. Again, we're on the line of, I do like players. I did like Dan James today. And I was, do you know what I was hoping? I was hoping for what Chelsea are doing. Blood all these youngsters. Let's see who's good. Let's see who's rubbish. Play that for the whole of the season. Whoever's not good enough, get rid of him. Loan him out, get rid of him, and we know where we are. We got a basis. I hope, but we're not doing that. And Ollie, that's the only place where I feel lied to from Ollie. He said that the youngsters are going to be a big part of his plans. Greenwood should have started today. You seen what Rashford did today? Did anyone see a reason for why Rashford started today?
But it's all nonsense with
He
Solskjaer,
is a
though, isn't
youngster,
it?
isn't he?
But it's all.
He's a youngster, but he's now a
No, he's an established Man United player.
established
though.
player.
But he is
Greenwood
still-
seems more of a natural striker than Rashford in terms of positional
The
sense.
thing
Yeah.
is, you can't start saying that Solskjaer's all about the youth when the two players that he gave extensions on their contract to were Mata and Matic.
Well, I go back to the statement he made towards the end
That
of
was
last
for De Gea,
season.
though.
When he seemed furious at one point towards the end of last season, he goes,
Yeah.
some of these players won't be here next season. And actually, you were talking shit, mate.
It was quite
No,
impressive when he said that, though,
did get
wasn't
rid
it?
of it. He did get Smalling gone.
maybe.
Phil Jones not in the team.
Yeah.
Like we do not. I don't. Where is he? Do you know what I'm saying?
Phil
Then,
Jones is behind him going, get
Matic,
sacked next week.
Yeah.
Matic gone. Lukaku gone.
Matic is playing quite
Matic's on the
regularly
bench.
this season.
But
Matic's
he's
been
not
playing a lot.
really Matic.
Mata and Matic have played a
McTominay.
lot this season, to be fair.
Matters played.
I know what you're saying.
It's not the same though.
Yeah.
These guys are starters. Who would have thought McTominay is starting ahead of?
Mate, McTominay was one of your best players.
He is. He
was
is one
against
of our
Chelsea
best
as well.
players. He is one of our best players. So I do think there's something to build on. There's something to build on there. But I just feel that Rashford, because I know that we're going to be in that 10th, 9th. But we got to say to ourselves, let's start again. And the fans literally need to hold tight because it's not going to be nice. It's a bumpy ride, but this is where we are right now. And I do, what gives me hope is I do look at teams like Liverpool and say to myself, they went through the doldrums and they're back. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Paul
they're,
Konchesky played left.
it's a see. I see them as, and this is, I don't want them to win the league because they are sleeping giants. But I feel it's the same with us. If we
Sleeping
get
Giants, they're the European champions.
Yeah.
no, but I'm talking Premier
slumbering, mate.
Now I'm talking.
I'll tell you what,
and-
mate, I'm deep in slumber.
But I'm saying these guys are. You know what I'm talking about.
Premier
I'm
League
talking
thing,
about dominance.
And the one thing that they did though, they went out and got a serious manager who even Ferguson was frightened.
He wanted him.
Yeah.
And that. So what are you saying? You negotiate the next couple of years and then appoint someone who's that next level
But
of
who's
manager?
out there?
Well, there's going to have to be
I don't
someone.
know what the, because I honestly feel that we got to do a crazy one and give Solskjaer 3 years.
Pochettino.
Honestly, we can't. Damaged goods. As soon as he comes here, it's not gonna. You know that like the pressure's different. Everyone's saying already about Pochettino. He hasn't won anything. This, that, and the other. There's so much they say about Poch. If he comes to United without winning anything, they'll say he's lost it. He's lost the Midas touch.
I think that Poch does just what he needs is a vehicle to take him to that track.
Pochettino is a proven builder of teams. He did it at Southampton, did it at Spurs, got Spurs from nothing to a European Cup final. Even though he hasn't won anything, he is certainly 10 times more proven than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
When you get to the
But won't
final
you
of the
say that
European
he's
Cup-
never? Won't you? There's that thing they
I don't
almost
care
did it
about
with
that.
Klopp. They almost did it with Klopp when they said, "Always the bridesmaid, never the bride."
I think
Remember
that's
that
bullshit.
It was
I think you've got to look
get
at the
that.
actual whole picture and go, is Jurgen Klopp clearly making this Liverpool side better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did Pochettino do that with Spurs? Yeah. All right, well, he's proven that he can build teams.
Your
But they'll
only
say,
problem
is that
is-
good enough though?
Do you know why you're in the
That's-
race?
I think
Because if Real Madrid get rid of Zidane sooner than you get rid of Solskjaer,
Pochettino
will go there.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
you're kind of like in a fight with Madrid. Nobody wants to make their first move, but ultimately one of you has to do it.
Well, Madrid can't do it because they're in a similar boat, and Zidane won 3 European Cups there.
I bet your Zidane's contract is fat as fuck.
I bet it's
Yeah,
also
watertight.
watertight for Zidane.
Yeah.
as well, that's the
Yeah.
thing.
How are you feeling about Arsenal after this game? I guess you kind of thought this might happen.
Yeah, I think what we've seen is the downfall of two giants. We've witnessed there quite an embarrassing level of football, I think, where
Yeah,
we were saying
100%.
at times it looks like we're watching kids and people on Hackney Marshes.
is this the-
in terms of quality, quite disappointing from both. For Arsenal in particular, I think a little bit more bravery from Unai Emery would have been nice. He seems to be, obsessed with Ozil not being the one. If that is the case, we are going to need a creative source in midfield, and Torreira probably is more adept at playing defensive midfielder, something that he just seems to be against. So we're in a little bit of a spiral with Emery at the moment. Unimpressive, especially considering that this is the weakest Manchester United side that I can
Ever
remember
seen.
looking at,
Yeah.
on paper anyway.
I think you guys were under more pressure to win today for that reason.
That's no excuse for not actually getting the job done, though. And I think we're actually a long way off from being where people expect us to be, and I wouldn't be surprised if he came under more pressure quite soon.
Can we look at that league table now in reflection to Arsenal, Lawrence? Because I want to see where they are right
So
now.
We're
Arsenal-
fourth.
Fourth in the Premier League table right now isn't terrible. However, they're top of a pile of teams who are on 12 points. So it's basically
So you're being chased down by West Ham, Tottenham.
Yeah, West Ham.
Chelsea.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams.
And Leicester are doing well.
Yeah, but it is also.
Oh my
if
God,
we're talking about shaping up for Manchester United, then we've got to talk about the same for Arsenal. They're in that top 4 race, which is the goal for this season, basically.
It is, yeah, and once again, results are what's going to make the difference here. But as far as what we're watching, the performances haven't been overly impressive, and we're struggling to dominate games in general.
You only lost one game though, same as Man City, to be fair.
That's right, perhaps a little bit lucky. And like I said, I know it's about the results, but at some stage you want to identify with a brand of football, and I'm struggling to see exactly what it is right now.
When I look at this league table right now, one thing that is crystal clear is goals conceded, and just how much higher that is. Like Leicester, Brendan Rodgers is not notoriously great at setting up a defence, and you've conceded 6 goals more than his team.
Leicester have the joint best defensive record in the
Yeah.
Premier League.
We love conceding goals. We haven't had a clean sheet all season.
Yeah, you guys, yeah, but West Ham and Spurs have got better defensive records, for example. Crystal Palace, Manchester United, better defensive records.
Do you think Leicester? I mean, we were saying it the other night. Leicester may develop a killer instinct, right, for this team. I don't think they really needed to kill Newcastle to do that. Do you think this team? There's no reason to say that this team can't go a whole season at this pace because.
Are we talking about Leicester?
Yeah, Leicester are hardly
yeah.
exerting themselves right now. They don't look like they're even out of second gear, Brian, against Newcastle. And there are other teams where I've seen them play and they've actually been quite comfortable.
Do you know
they didn't
the
really
problem,
seem to
though?
exert themselves
They
against
choked,
Manchester
Lawrence.
United.
They choked against.
That was what I was
Manchester
saying to Brian, though. That's what I'm saying. Do you think they've developed that killer instinct to be able to go further? They probably won't keep up with Man City for the entire season.
No.
But I think they're in there for the top 3.
Oh,
I think they really let themselves down against Manchester United. They really did. They choked on the biggest stage. And if that becomes a theme, because they only got a point at Stamford Bridge as well, if that becomes a theme, then their Champions League aspirations will suffer.
My question is their goals, because Vardy at his age, as great as he is, it's a lot to expect for him to just keep delivering.
He'll do it, mate. He'll do it.
And Jose Perez, I don't know if they know how to get the best out of him yet. Like
They've got goals in the middle, though. They're very lucky that their midfield is brilliant. You know, they have a really, really blessed midfield.
That's where they're strong.
And Didi, Madison, we've got goals in there.
Yeah, but mate, Chowdhury's a good player. They've got a very good midfield.
only that-
Tillemans is a good player.
Not only that, but I definitely think they're one of the teams in the Premier League who has nailed the balance of the fullbacks so far this season. And when their fullbacks push on, their fullbacks go back. These guys have worked very hard to get the balance of going forward and then get them across.
And do you know what else they managed to do? You've got to remember, they got rid, or they lost, arguably their best player in the summer. You know, Harry Maguire left. And they've put that right perfectly, haven't they?
Dude, look at they basically. If any other team have been stripped of these assets and still remain third in the Premier League,
Yeah, mate, absolutely.
I think if Liverpool basically have the same, and we've gone, oh my god, look where they're going. If other teams have been stripped of Mahrez, Kante, who else?
Harry Maguire?
Harry Maguire. That's basically the spine of the team.
He's making a lot of other Premier League managers look bang average right now. He really is.
But I'm not gonna lie, Brendan is a very good manager. We couldn't have him in it. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you know when you get to that place, you're like, I wonder who I could have. Literally, he was so close to doing it, but I
think Manchester United's pride
really worry.
in this we're too good for certain managers forced them down the road where they ended up with someone as little experienced as Ollie. Like, I look at Rafa Benitez, who was doing so well with such a shit team at Newcastle, and think, what could he do with a Paul Pogba? You look at Brendan Rodgers, who I've got no doubt is a better, more accomplished manager than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It's like, so many managers who you can't have him because he used to manage Chelsea, you can't have him because he used to manage Liverpool. And it's like, you ended up with a guy who used to manage fucking Cardiff.
Bro, Rafa Benitez still touches This Is Anfield. Like, he still slaps the best.
I'm not saying you would have gotten Rafa. I don't think Rafa would have gotten it. It wouldn't have worked. I'm just saying, though, I don't know. This
I know what you mean.
You guys is
I know what you mean.
Do you
I know.
what
And the funny thing is, I couldn't even say this here. Like, Brendan Rodgers would be a sick Man United manager. That's crazy. Like,
it's mad, isn't it?
I get deleted.
You know what though? I don't know if you would, because I think you also have to be the right personality to go. So it's clearly been over the last few years that you need a resilient manager. So Louis van Gaal is
It's the New England job, isn't it? It's the poison challenge, isn't it? It's like, you take the Man United job, you're kind of fucked instantly.
You've also got to. So Louis van Gaal's basically Teflon, because whatever he does, he can go. Those guys are fucked. Well, he's Louis van Gaal. He's a fucking tactical genius. He's come up with a load of innovations. Mourinho is pretty much Teflon. He's making his recovery now. Brendan Rodgers isn't. And so he's not in that. He's not that personality. He's almost a perfect personality for Leicester. Where it's like, we're a humble club.
If it goes well at Leicester, though, if this goes well, and if what you're saying there is true, if he manages to make that leap, so he let himself down at Stamford Bridge, they let themselves down at Old Trafford. They play Liverpool next. If they can raise their game, I'm not even saying win the game.
Come on, Brendan.
Just don't choke. But don't choke on the occasion.
And that's the thing, is it's not. I'm not saying that Brendan Rodgers has found his level. I'm saying he's found a real good
Question,
manager.
Would Brendan love to, like, from a revenge point of view, shove it up Liverpool?
He tried it last time. He tried it.
I think there is a bit of a. Well, there's a bit of a jilted lover there, isn't there? Where it's like, you guys gave me up for Jurgen Klopp.
And he became a joke.
What is the reason?
Wrongly, perhaps, but he did become a bit of a punchline.
He became a meme.
That TV show did him no favours.
The TV show did him no favours, although looking back further on, he's hardly the manager that comes out worse than that. And then also, the team had got a little bit stale. So we haven't moved on quick enough as a football club.
But if he does well with Leicester, say they break into the top 4, have a good season next year, Champions League, they'll be in the Champions League, do well again.
The grass is always green.
Does he then become Are we then talking about him for the top jobs?
I think he's the next Arsenal manager. Honestly, I don't think Emery's gonna. I don't think it's gonna work for Emery.
Why are we not mentioning?
I see. Oh,
I did. No,
Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah, I honestly like. I think he's the next Arsenal manager. I swear to you.
You know, sometimes you hear stuff and
I swear to you.
sometimes you hear stuff and then it just doesn't click.
No, I get you saying it doesn't.
No, I hear, yeah.
But then, if you think about it, none of the Chelsea's not going to have him. They look like they have a plan, and the whole whatever's going on with them is there. Pep's staying.
Yeah.
Your manager again with a depleted Man United side. You lot were excited
awful.
about the Europa and everything that you've done before coming, and you're already seeing that.
When you say you lot, it's just that doesn't work.
No, as in
That doesn't work.
So you lot was excited.
No. I mean, some people were. Some people were really happy.
So the Arsenal fan base were a bit excited about, especially coming to play us. We're on our knees. We lost to Rochdale, and a 16-year-old scoring and stuff. Yeah, and then so for you guys, it's like, what next? Yeah, I honestly feel that I'm not even trying to take the piss when I say that. Brendan Rodgers, if he does get the if he does get top 4 or finishes 3rd or 2nd, and Unai Emery finishes out of the
Unai Emery finished outside the top 4. He's gone.
Wouldn't that not be a realistic?
Listen, they haven't renewed his contract for a reason.
There you go. So
if he doesn't get Champions League football, I'm sure we'll be moving on. And like I said initially, it was that transitional stage he's meant to be here for, overseeing it. It's not working out as we had hoped.
There you go.
But you know, if Brendan Rodgers gets Leicester City top 4, then he deserves to be in the running for every position.
Let me give you both a name. Why isn't Max Allegri being discussed as a possible Manchester United, possible Arsenal manager?
It's too defensive. It's like, what do we want to do again?
So you know the funny thing is, Max Allegri, I don't think is actually he's an Italian manager. Sure, he's defensive. I don't think he's super defensive. I think he's definitely a conservative manager. But
I can't believe that you're saying no to Allegri when Solskjaer is your manager.
That's what I'm saying.
Not that.
Both of your teams right now, he's so stabilising.
And this is the thing. We either work our way through this thing, like, because basically you see how much you're talking about, how much money you spent. You signed all these players, and they're not here. So now you're telling me we'll sign Allegri. He's probably going to look at Dan James like, not for me. He look at all these players that are here now and say, they don't work for my philosophy.
Arsenal are exactly the same.
So
these guys,
we have to stick.
Like
we have to go with if someone's going to come in and play, because we talk about this director of football thing. That's the biggest thing that we're talking about. We want to play a united way. I don't know what that means. Yeah, we need to get a manager that is going to play attacking football.
Paulo Ancelotti for me is the most natural successor to Alex Ferguson's style of football.
Mate, the style of football that he played at Stamford Bridge.
You're
absolutely right.
I fucking love Ancelotti, but his style of football was always
Ancelotti's unbelievable. Yeah. We scored 100 goals and won the double.
He's won 3 Champions Leagues.
From the same school of coaching as Conte with Majid.
And he's a boss as well. Like, he's got that command, respect. That there's not even a question he has that over.
Only thing is, he doesn't need that in his life at the moment.
There you go. He's completely that kind of guy where it's like, hey, I don't know if he's too old because he's obviously gone to Napoli. That's an incredibly intense job. But I think he is looking at that and going,
Ancelotti lives a wonderful life. He's got a vineyard. He swans a bag. He's got a beautiful wife. He drinks red wine every day.
Good life.
He's not going to
Carlo Ancelotti, you're living around Naples. You're living down near the
He's got a holiday. He's got a holiday home in Capri.
Yeah, you don't need pricks like KJ on the United stand moaning about you.
Exactly. You don't need it. He's got his shorts on. He's got a lovely pair of driving shoes, and he's drinking red wine.
I don't know what the fuck I was saying, lads.
Do you know what I realised when I was asking, okay, who's this manager? Who's this option? Who's this? Really, your option, your bad thing you've got right now is your owners, and the Premier League is going to call it out. And every league in the world somewhere has a problem with a bad owner, right?
Yeah.
You guys have bad owners, and I don't mean in the sense they're driving your club into the ground like Newcastle's. But your guys are just not helping anyone.
Negative.
They're not making the most of their asset, and that's what kind of annoys me. It's like, you know, when you see someone who's super talented, they've got everything the world's going for. Cool, man, go and do this. Don't just stay on YouTube. Go and do some Netflix. Go and do that.
Liberty.
Yeah.
Was that a shot?
No. This is me saying we're gonna fucking pack it up and have a couple of drinks after this.
All I'm saying is, if someone doesn't acknowledge soon, then the press don't start to pile a bit of pressure on the Glazers to either spend some money, get off the pot.
Yeah.
Then there's something wrong.
Shit, I got off the pot.
Because you know what really disgusted me earlier in the week? Everyone's giving fucking Joe Cole and Peter Crouch, and don't worry, I like those guys, credit for saying that the Glazers might not be doing it the right way. And it's like,
Oh,
Have
really?
I'm sorry. Have we just acknowledged that? Fucking mental.
You would have think that would have been crystal fucking clear across Sky Sports.
Dude, you shouldn't get credit for pointing out the fucking obvious if you're an
guys, there's an elephant in the room, you know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thank you for having me on your show, though.
Lads, honestly, thanks to all of you.
What'd you say?
It's been great. No. KJ, great debut. Well done, mate.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And for all the United fans or other fans that don't want to do this football shit anymore, come listen to me talk about boxing. Undefeated.
Wow. Nice one.
There you go. Sorry. Cheeky, but
Maybe there's another collaboration there.
There you go.
Well, we do a boxing show, the live show, so we'll get you onto that as well. Rory, thanks for coming on, as always,
Thank
mate.
you very much, mate.
Hugh, Wizzy, smashed it all. Don't forget to watch the latest True News if you want a good laugh. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video. We'll see you later. Cheers.
Yeah.
To Bed, Bath, and Beyond.
Let's talk about that.
Like, how is that even a thing? Like, is this real life? I mean, come on, dude. It's just an MPL challenge that you do for fun with, like, you know, your family, your friends, and, you know, whenever Beasting solo voice cracks. I mean, that's like what you do, man.
Pretty much.
Beasting, you really didn't have your in. Oh yeah, you said something about.
Yeah. What about Frugal?
What about zombies dying and such?
Yeah. Pressure. But yet competition's like higher than it's ever been before, it seems like.
Yeah, that makes sense because everybody, like, because it's been around for so long. There's so many videos on YouTube of how to do everything. People just figured it out. But I guess like the reason why some people, me included, aren't as motivated to play high rounds anymore is just the records are just so freaking high these days. Every map's almost played a reset. And even co-op. Co-op's like, people are playing a reset now in co-op. That's fucked up. I mean,
yeah,
it's like...
Really?
Yeah, like, there's been multiple resets in co-op. It's insane. It's insane how...
I'll keep going.
Yeah, because in like a co-op reset, then it's just about how much you want to stay awake for. It's like, how much sleep are you willing to lose to get this record rather than, like, anything else. That kind of puts me off.
I'm not informed of.
People are trying to go like there's two 50+ hour games on town, an 82 by Big Sue and AJ, and then an 80 by Vectic and his partner, and 50+ hours. Like, how ridiculous is it to be in a co-op game for 50+ hours, let alone a solo game 50+ hours? That's just insane.
Is that 50 hours of gameplay or including sleeping?
Yeah, gameplay.
It's because the time while you're holding the window or whatever while sleeping, that counts towards the reset. Because whatever, that one guy did that a while back. He reset around one. Like, he proved that.
Yeah, at 84 hours on Moon.
Yeah, exactly. He sat there and held the window and he streamed it or something. I don't remember, but yeah, it's resets are a thing in co-op now. That's how retarded these records are getting.
I mean, I can agree with you, like, with the co-op thing. I mean, and like I've always said, sleeping and stuff kind of promotes that type of stuff. I mean, especially whenever you have somebody that just eventually says, you know what, I mean, if I can take one sleeper, I mean, I don't see why I can just, you know, don't need to take more sleepers, then, if you know what I mean. So, I mean, they just take as many as they need to, and then bam, 130 on co-op. And pretty much anyone can do it. I mean, there's been people that have been doing it with like 40+ downs, even like, you know, 50 downs and stuff, and they're still doing it. So
I think you're sort of going to do another topic, so you're going to save that for later.
All right, yeah.
But like Frugal was saying, I think it's pretty hard to carry on. Carry on because the rounds are getting so high, and some people just have to quit zombies just because the records are too high. But I mean, it's just your choice to keep playing. I mean, it's just simple as it is. I mean, if you enjoy communicating with people in the community and you want to stay in the community like that, or play just because you simply enjoy the strategies and the game itself, then Do whatever you want to do, man. It's just a video game.
I mean, solo resets have been around since the CJ Garoff days. I mean, it's not like resets haven't, you know, been around, but, you know, it's just, yeah, around 92.5, that's pretty bad. But, you know, just, people were resetting in the year 2011, and now it's the year 2014. I mean, the record is much, much higher, and you do need to play fast constantly, maybe even get a little lucky on some of the records just to get them. But I mean, resets have always really been a thing with solo. I mean, they're just now getting to be more of a thing, if that makes any sense. But, you know, co-op, I do understand that is getting to be a little ridiculous.
Has every map been reset in solo now? On Black Ops 1?
No. Varuk hasn't. Noct hasn't.
Yeah, Space Marine.
No. Oh, yeah, you did. Didn't you reset? Or,
no, he didn't. I think he got a freeze or something.
Oh, okay.
Well, Jam was really close to reset, but he didn't reset.
Yeah, Call of the Dead hasn't reset either. Shang hasn't reset, but we all know why. Nobody reset on that, but...
What about the next topic?
Okay, well, next topic, people said it was like a deep question. I don't really think it is. So, who were you before Black Ops 2?
You guys want to start with me, or?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, I was a very well-known Dead Ops arcade player. I was renowned as quite possibly the King Jack of Dead Ops arcade before Black Ops 2 came out, and yeah, just no life Dead Ops arcade. I held actually the solo world record, the 2-player world record, the 3-player world record, and the 4-player world record, and the no fate world record all at one time in Dead Ops arcade. So I was definitely, you know, the most accomplished Dead Ops arcade player for
this topic.
Very
just saying how cool we are.
Yeah, dude.
This is self-promotion.
But anyways, yeah, I mean, I just played Dead Ops, and then before Black Ops 2, I just started getting back into high rounds on zombies. I used to play World at War zombies, but I think my highest on duties was like 43 or something co-op, but that's all I really had before Black Ops 2 came out.
I'll go next, I guess. So, before Black Ops 2, let's see. I started playing Black Ops 1 as it came out. I played World of War like a couple months before that, but I did nothing impressive. And let's see, I got like a bunch of round 100s, which were a big deal at the time. And then by the time Black Ops 2 came out, I had like most of the high rounds that I ever wanted, and since then I've gone nowhere at all.
Well, that's like, just because you haven't played.
Yeah, but still, I didn't have this planned.
Would you say that? Would you say that you were like maybe considered a top 10 zombie player before Black Ops 2 came out, or even top 5?
I wouldn't consider myself one, but others might. I don't know. Strategy stuff. I guess I knew more than other people, but playing the game.
Oh, okay, yeah, bullshit.
How you guys found that 5 strategy? Like, that's actually insane. You guys figured that one out. But...
This is, yeah, like Pishizor and Frugal over here brainwashing zombie play and I8 into doing, like, you know, what Pumpkin says as 80-hour experiments on Ascension over here, saying, oh, don't worry, man, if you just put your, you know, your TV down to standard definition 480p and turn off reduced graphic content, and, you know, you won't get any frame lag, and you won't get reset.
They didn't have to do it, it was their choice. Completely
okay. Can I say something about myself now?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Alright, well, before Black Ops 2 came out, I mean, I played World of War. Like, the year World of War came out, I got for Christmas. Just played that. Played Derice, Catwalk, whatever, everything like that. And when Black Ops 1 came out, I just played multiplayer because I was huge into multiplayer and everything like that. And then Zombies, Call of the Dead, Shangri-La came out. When Shangri-La came out, I was on the... I think I was ranked 15, like, the first week it came out, and I was, like, ranked 20 as well, like, the second week. and everything was going fine. And then Moon came out, and I was like rank 1, like the first like hour it was out, and rank 1 again when I came home from school. So that was pretty cool. But when I actually started doing high rounds and everything, my first like legitimate like pretty high round was with Zombie Playa on Kino. We got to 86, and that game took like 19 hours, and we were actually tied with King Jack and I8 for the Xbox record, even though the record on PS3 is supposedly 99. But we had 86. And then like summer hit and everything like that, and I did an 80 on Shangri-La, which was regarded as one of the better Shangri-La games around that time. And I think it was really close to the Xbox record on there, like it was like 82. And then I did an 83 on Call of the Dead, disconnected, and a 99 on Ascension co-op. I mean, I had some high rounds before Black Ops 2 came out, but nothing insanely incredible like King Jack.
But you would still consider yourself to be like a pretty well accomplished zombie player before Black Ops 2
In
came out?
comparison to like other players, I was definitely one of the best co-op players at that time, by far. I thought so because there wasn't many players out there who had an 80 plus on Call of the Dead and Shangri-La and like a 90. I mean, 99 Ascension means nothing, but I mean those few like rounds and everything, pretty good.
You can't see the chat, can you? I reckon.
No.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Anyways,
You want to go next, Frugal, or do you want me to take the stage?
I'll go last. You already talking?
Oh, okay.
I'll be a gentleman about it.
Well, before Black Ops 2 came out, I remember I was really close to 420 subs, which I kind of wanted the day of Black Ops 2. But I mostly did challenges, try to come up with like some cool challenges and stuff. And pretty much it. I was just known as that challenge player guy, and a lot of people did a lot of the challenges with some of the people I was doing. Especially someone in this chat, I remember doing a commentary about a challenge I came up with. I think his name was Pish. Yeah.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Sally's in the alley. He like uploaded that video like 2 days later or whatever.
You're all over Sally's in the alley.
Yeah, you guys were like hyped on that. And so that's basically it. And then like right before Black Ops 2 came out, I started coming up with my beast intages. And that's really it.
Alright, 5 and 5.
Okay. Well, it seems like this kind of just turned into like how we got into zombies rather than who we are before Black Ops 2, so I'll just answer that instead. So basically I played World at War way back when it first came out. I used to always go over to my buddy's house and play Doris. Like, we played the fuck out of Doris. I didn't play really any other maps, but Doris, holy shit, we used to play this every day for so long. And we would always fail at like 20, like 25, camping the catwalk or whatever. Sometimes we would camp like the M1, and that's like as far as we ever got. Until one day I saw a video on YouTube of some guy running the double trap strat, where you just teleport and you hit the Thompson trap and you hit the power trap. And I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. This could work forever. And that was like my first experience with high round. The idea that you don't just play to 20 and die. Once your weapon start to suck, the game's over. You can go forever. There's traps that are insta kill. So we eventually he came over to my house and we eventually played. I think we played to 42 or something, and then the teleporter didn't work. I don't know if you guys remember that glitch, but they used that teleporter would always fucking not work, and that's how we game over. It didn't work, and we died because of that. And like after that, we kind of stopped playing. We're like, dude, we beat zombies. We beat it. That's it. Game over.
Yeah,
we got to 41. We're the best. And after that, like, I didn't play it for a few years. Like, I was in I think junior high at the time. I'm pretty sure. So just like I moved on with my life, whatever. Then at the end of Black Ops 2, after Moon was already out, probably a few months after that, I don't know. I think I saw another YouTube video or something, or just I randomly, for whatever reason, I got back into zombies, and I did a 50 on Moon running the biodome, and I thought it was like tough shit doing it in solo because you have to train and stuff. And I guess just ever since then, I just got into YouTube and I started to play, and somehow I got where I am right now with a decent amount of subs and whatnot.
Yeah, do you guys remember like what your guys' sub count on YouTube and like your follow count on Twitch was before Black Ops 2?
I said it.
Oh, wait.
I was up in 35 subs on that big cheek in the account.
Nice.
I got
I made my rack 'em up count like 2 weeks for Black Ops 2.
I actually. You go.
I had like 100 before Black Ops 1, then I think 5,000 before Black Ops 2. Since then, it has not moved that much.
I think I had 1,000 before Black Ops 2. I gained a lot in Black Ops 2.
Yeah, I had the honor of getting not one, but 2 shoutouts from the Relaxing End before Black Ops 2 came out with my Dead Ops arcade gameplays. And I mean, it wasn't just a solo shoutout, it was basically a shoutout, because we did them in 3-player games. And, you know, all 3 of us got shoutouts basically from Relaxing End twice. And I gained, I think, 200 subscribers from both of those shoutouts, and I think I had 350 subs on YouTube and 300 followers on Twitch before Black Ops 2 came out.
But wasn't that day where your Twitch was so unpopular that when you used to stream Dead Ops, you would have your Facebook on your stream? And
Yeah.
No commentary.
But did you guys like? Okay, one last thing about this topic. Did we all know each other before Black Ops 2? Because I know that I knew who Pish was, and I knew who 5 and 5 was, and I definitely remember I know who 5 and 5 was because he left this comment that to this day still is just eats up a part of me inside, man. It's just, he left a comment on my video saying, "I don't like the way you're running the AK. It looks very unsafe and dangerous, and it's me running it like a man." And I'm like, you fucking pussy. Like, who do you think you are?
He came up with fucking M16 105, man.
What was that?
Was that right after I uploaded that M16 video? I think that was.
Yeah, I think it was. And then, because it was right whenever Pish was doing his like Shang game, I did my Shang game. I had failed on Shang every day for like 4 days straight, and because I really wanted to get one high round in before Black Ops 2, and I was really thinking like, man, if I could, you know, be like Horde Kill and get a 90 plus on Shang running it like a man, then I'd probably get some zombie rep or something. I'd actually be pretty fucking cool if I did that.
Yeah, he calls it the street cred. That's what he usually calls
street cred.
Get the zombie street cred, yo.
Drug dealer or some shit.
But I don't think I knew who Beasting Solo was.
I was gonna say the same about you. I didn't know about you until your Nuketown game.
Yeah,
I knew everybody else. I was already playing with Riley already, and yeah, we were doing challenges. We were tearing it up. A way to go.
When you say you know people, do you mean like you talked to them before, or do you just like? Oh,
no, just knew who. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I knew all of that.
Okay, so that was a long topic, surprisingly. Next one.
Do you know how long we've been going? Just wondering.
Hold on, I could tell you actually.
Normally we have like the recording thing. That shows how long.
It says that we've been going for 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Fancy.
Yeah.
Pretty good for 2 topics and an intro.
Well, we've got some very limited topics coming up.
Okay.
Be ready.
So, and a few curveball ones.
Yes, whatever those are. So, next topic is something I don't think I have much experience with this, and it is the double standards in zombies. I rack them up. Would you like to explain what this is?
Okay, well, pretty much I'll read off the top, like the entire thing. Double standards in zombies. Some people can barely upload gameplay and still have the record, but others don't upload any gameplay and get the record. Not streaming full games. Now, these next few words coming up isn't what I said. This is from someone else in the podcast. Is the person modding, or are they a pussy? I didn't say that, like I said, that was someone else, but pretty much.
Remain anonymous.
Yeah, I mean, I did a commentary already covering over this pretty much, but what I was trying to say is that, like, I don't understand how some people can, like, be accepted as the world record holder on zombie records or in the community in general. Like, for example, Mac and Rules, he uploads like 15 minutes worth of gameplay, and he's credited as a world record holder for most maps. And I believe that he's legit. Like, I'm not saying he's a mod or anything, but like I'm saying, it's just like, why is he an exception to a rule that's mandated to everybody else in the community? Like, why?
Before you say that about him, for the first Call of the Dead game he had, zombie records people had him upload like hours of gameplay.
Really?
He did unlisted though.
Yeah, it was all
Okay, well, what about his Moon game?
Yeah.
Or his Ascension 182, or 183, or his other Call of the Dead game?
Yeah, this is... I know where we're going with this, but we're kind of like about to, if we go any further, we'll go into a different topic at the same time,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean. So,
Yeah.
but, yeah, well...
Are we gonna like talk about Sonic records, you know, at any point?
We could, yeah. Yeah, I think it is a topic.
Yeah, whatever
Like-
happened to the one topic about
It's on there.
Oh, is it on there?
Fucking sit there. Yeah, what happened to him anyways? He just like slithered away like an Orochimaru, like a server snake. Okay, but anyways, no, yeah, I do think that is like bullshit. That, you know, somebody, because if you do make an exception for one person, then, you know, well, you might as well just make an exception for this guy too, and, you know, so-and-so, and then it just gets to a point where somebody like, you know, where I have no you know, not trying to be offensive, I have nothing against this person at all, but BP 1994, aka Brad Pitt, you know, this guy, like, he had the Shinonuma record, well, record with quotations, and the Shinonuma co-op record with quotations again at one point, and he shows minimal gameplay, you know, minimal
2
footage.
seconds.
Yeah, it's just like little tidbits and snippets of, you know, him recording with his asshole. It's like, dude, you can't like throw that up on YouTube and expect to have a record.
It wasn't on.
Sorry.
It was on Twitch.
Oh yeah, it's on Twitch.
One thing I don't
What is
understand is,
this?
like, it's like a 2-second video or whatever it is, like under a minute worth of gameplay, like of a 173 like game, like on Shinonuma. But then I'm like required to upload a whole fucking first room game. Like, are you serious right now? Like,
What do you mean required? Who's making it?
Sit back, and the zombie records.
Like, I can upload myself dying with quick revive, but people have to upload their entire first room game. But then other people can upload a minute worth of gameplay for a solo game and get accepted as the
Sitfast
world
doesn't
record.
check all the records, so the ones that he checks, I guess, you were unlucky, and he's like, yeah, you got up with the whole thing.
Right, because it's a really biased website. I mean, pretty much Zombie Records is a website that's ran by credibility, really. I mean, if you have a high record and you're known as a legitimate player, then it's just like, all right, we'll just put your record up. Like, I mean, like, I bet you there's like some of those staff members, even though some of them are really good, like, I'll give credit. That Toasty the Wizard guy, he does a really good job on that website. Like, he's been keeping it like really like up to date and everything. Like, he's like updating the leaderboards without even me submitting my own gameplay and stuff. So I give him credit for that. But I mean, like, for example, someone who's like really credible in the community, like 5 and 5, he can upload like a link. Like, here's me getting a record, and it could just be like a fucking link of like him modding or something. Like, I bet you they wouldn't even really check that. Like, I mean, it's just like a website run off credibility, really. And the reason why full gameplay and having a PVR is required is because certain people in the community try to like trick everybody and mod and try to get away with it, and they're the ones who pretty much ruined it. So I mean, you want to thank them for people like us holding these types of opinions. I mean, that's just their own fault in ruining like people like trusting each other. I mean, if you don't have an Elgato or PVR at this point in time, like, what are you doing? It's fucking 2014.
Really, though, does anyone want to watch that much gameplay?
I know.
That's what comes down to
That's
it.
that's going into another topic about like modders and stuff, but I'll say that for later.
If you have maybe 2 active staff members, they can't watch
Yeah, I know.
everyone's gameplay.
I completely
it
understand.
kind of has
I mean,
to work out.
maybe if Zombies was like really like in the loop and like insanely popular and like fresh and everything, and like Zombie Records had like a shitload of staff members that are like really dedicated to actually like keeping the leaderboards and the community like really like up to date, then yeah, like people would watch all the gameplay and stuff. But I mean,
Even then,
I understand what you're saying.
Why would anybody want to watch somebody do the same thing over and over again for that long?
I know.
Just to prove it. Like, what you want from Zombie Records isn't possible. That's what you got to realize.
I know. But I mean,
you just have a problem with Sysfast denying you. That's really all you said. Everybody else there will put your records up because you're credible.
Okay, well,
okay, so what if like what people like Hardcore now uploading 15 minutes worth of gameplay and they're modding the entire time? I mean,
no.
I mean,
Here's
he got away with it. Like, I mean, if he wasn't stupid enough, he could have been getting away with modding records and stuff. That's what I'm trying to say.
The thing is, if you're stupid enough to mod a record, you're probably gonna get caught.
I mean, I don't honestly don't. Here's what Ian 55 told me. He told me himself that he can, like, if he really wanted to, which he doesn't want to, he said that he can easily do it himself. Like, I mean, like, it doesn't seem that hard to get away with modding a record. It's just idiots that are doing it. So I mean, if you really wanted to like put your mind to doing something that pathetic, you can get away with it if you're not a dumbass. I mean,
but
exactly.
You'd have
but
to
then
be a
again,
dumbass
it's
to
just
do
like a
it.
video game. You really can't take it that seriously. So I mean, that's why these types of topics can go either way, really.
Well, I sort of have experience with this on another game. Like, I played some other 2D motorcycle game. You don't care about it, but I was an admin on a website where they had the record stuff, and it worked on credibility entirely. So, like, you got this guy who's gotten 5 world records that have all been thoroughly checked or whatever. Then, once that happens, when he submits a new record, there's a little star next to his name, knowing that he can be sort of trusted. And then you don't check it so thoroughly.
Yeah, I mean, but like,
how it works.
like, I mean, like Hardcore now, he was getting records and stuff like that, and it's like
But
one
everybody
day
was questioning
modding.
Yeah.
The thing is that he wasn't credible even at the point when he got the records. Half the people were questioning.
I thought they did like those co-op games and stuff. Like I thought people were like really certain that all those games were legit. Then his like credibility was really like taking a look at when he was like doing the solo games.
Yeah, it's because on PC it's much like hacking PC is really easy, and so it's part of the game. Whereas co-op you actually need like a mod tool or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. That's at least my thing for PC, and the fact that he was playing with like other really credible players. No, I mean like when he was playing his co-op games, like his 5 world record with Masta. Like I just don't see Masta modding.
Yeah.
It comes down to credibility again, but he's playing with a very credible player, so I mean, there you go.
So I'm kind of confused right now. We kind of just went from talking about double standards to pretty much another topic without me even realizing. Like,
which is the next one, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well,
so.
actually, I changed the order of topics because it kind of fits.
Okay.
Going on to Iraq and Mup's favorite topic, PC versus console.
I don't even have that big of a deal with it anymore.
Well,
okay.
No, I don't really care. I
Here's
mean,
what.
It's
I
on the
just
list.
really don't.
Here's what I don't understand is whenever, okay, like nowadays, PC is pretty much, I guess you could even argue that it's harder than console on most of the maps. I mean, you don't get trap lag on PC, you don't get like the lag whenever you kill full hordes way later on, but on a map like Durice, is it going to really make a difference at all if you play on PC or Xbox, if that makes any sense? Same thing with Shinonuma. I mean, backing up slower on Shinonuma would be argued as
There's Oxygen figured out how to change the config files so you can walk the same speed on PC. So
oh, okay. So you can basically
That's not
mod
even a
on PC. Okay, so that's basically modding. But anyways, that also is kind of getting into another topic. Like we keep on doing that. So anyways, let's not do that. But I keep on hearing these console players like and surprisingly not me. But anyways, whenever we were doing the Race to 200 last year, I remember one person in particular was like, "Hey Frenzy, look at Pishizor's stream. Look at how he jumps through the trap right here." And he was basically, you know, trying to get at the fact that PC was easier because Pish isn't getting hit as much whenever he jumps through the trap, even though he was strafing through it, and, you know, was just getting not hit as much whenever he jumped through afterwards or whatever. And people were trying to argue that you get hit less. Yeah, it's like, how does it make any sense? It's the same freaking video game. It's just, you know, what is he getting at? I mean, I've seen people like Pumpkin Spice literally go in and out of zombies and not die, so I don't really understand how people are going to try to argue that, you know,
the only thing
PC
you can
is...
argue is that with the mouse you can screen shake better, or you can do a strafe jump easier or whatever. That's the only thing you can argue.
But you also have to use a
Or-
fucking keyboard and mouse, so...
You can do that on Xbox.
I don't have a problem with PC anymore. I had a problem with it, like, to the knowledge that we had a year ago, where we all, like, everybody thought, like, the general, like, factual knowledge for the community, like, that PC resets were way higher because we didn't see anybody reset on PC, and that was what everybody thought. Like, it wasn't everything like what I thought. So that's why I didn't really like PC. I thought that eventually that someone was just gonna run like a strategy, like Pish's or strategy on Derice, and then get 200 and beat King Jip. Yeah, I mean, like, that's what I was like. I was sort of scared of like the potential of PC, but now the only real advantage that PC has is no frame lag. And I mean, I honestly like don't find that like that big of a deal, really. Like,
considering the knock record on Xbox.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like it was like,
intense.
yeah, it was beaten. I mean, it was proven possible. You can get the 70 on knock co-op on PS3. Like, come on. But I honestly don't have that big of a deal against PC. I used to have like a real personal vendetta against PC, and then I mean, I just don't really have a big deal with PC anymore. It's completely fine with me. I mean, it seems as if PC seems to be like a harder way to really get insanely high rounds in solo. Like, for example, if you don't have an insanely good PC like Magic Glowbox and getting all these random errors and just crashing your game all the time.
He has a good PC, he just doesn't know how to use it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's playing like World at War on the side and shit.
Oh,
like,
shit.
Minimizing his game to play that. And
yeah, I mean, like, people like still like coming in my streams like, oh, this is the guy who hates PC. Fuck this guy. Like I don't even have a big deal with it anymore. I don't really, like, I don't hate PC anymore, really.
I definitely do agree. Like, there was like a big issue. I would even say shit about not PS3, PC, especially if somebody played on a map where there was frame lag. For instance, you know, Ascension or something. I still thought that, you know, a game such as King Jack off Suits, you know, Ascension game to be probably one of the most impressive Ascension solos, and for quite a while, even though it wasn't even the record, just because, you know, he had that much frame lag.
It was because of poor timing.
Yeah, it was. He pretty much got pre-swooped, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pre-swooping since 2012.
But you guys can't deny though, when Magic Glowbox got the first 200, there was so many fucking console haters. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. PC haters, not console.
Oh, but you know what I mean. They were like hating on him because, you know, he did it on PC. Like,
People weren't even hating on him.
That much, really. Like, I pretty much regarded it. I just regarded it like King Jack already pretty much had the first 200. Like, even though he didn't have 200 on the screen, like, he pretty much had it. Like, I mean, none of us can really deny the fact that he was going to lose all 3 quick revives in 1 round on Kino. Like, we all knew for a fact he was going to get that. It's just that he was like trading in and stuff, and he couldn't like camp the alley on Kino because he had frame lag from trading in, so he couldn't really do that. So he was forced to run like a slower insta-kill strategy.
Did he have frame lag on that round?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
It wasn't bad though. Like he still could have camped. Like Wolfie camped MPL on Ascension.
Yeah,
MPL on Ascension.
But anyways, no, I was even getting some shit in my Derice game last year whenever I had a pretty good chance of getting the first 200 on, you know, well, console at least at the time. You know, I was uploading Ascension or Derice updates at round 150 where I had no downs and everything, and people were even saying like, you know, you need to reserve 200 for King Jack. You can't be the first at 200. I'm like, okay, apparently I need to do that, so I'll just suicide at 199 just to make you guys happy. not really, but yeah.
Yeah, like we're not saying like Magic Glowbox didn't deserve what he got because
I know.
he put in the effort. He had no downs. He did a really good job. He played numerous Kino games for it. So I mean, like he definitely like put in a lot of hard work to deserve the record he got. It's just like people were just like sort of like discouraged to the fact that like King Jack is really the one. Like I mean, I didn't really care, but like there's just like some super diehard fanboys going crazy over that.
I mean, like you said earlier, he pretty much had at least 200s. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, resets.
When no one
Can't
was
do
even
nothing
like
about
close to like what he was touching. Like,
Yeah.
no, like the only person who was actually like sort of like close to him was like Horkill on Kino when Horkill beat his 179. But like literally no one was in sight of his Darius game. Like what he had 151 by Melton Super Soldiers, like with the CJ strategy. Like,
he
that
ran
wasn't
my
even-
strategy. He ran my strategy.
I thought he ran CJ.
Well, Pish's strategy basically is
It's the same
CJ's, except
Yeah. Except like twice as fast.
yeah,
Twice as fast.
yeah, it's just as easy, twice as fast.
It's pretty nice. Pretty nice.
Yeah, it actually isn't that slow of a strategy if you really think about it. It's like what, 35 seconds a word? Yeah, so I mean it's like 3 seconds slower than King Jack.
But like King Jack's out shooting, I think it's like what, 32 seconds a word?
Yeah, that's 3 seconds slower. Yeah.
So yeah, it's really it almost would work. You could get a 200 with it at least.
But you don't want to.
Oh no, of course.
No, yeah, the amount of criticism that one would get from, you know, like, you know what I mean? It's just like Space Marine playing. I just think that's wrong for somebody to, you know, where the record holder plays a very, you know, not really a dangerous strategy, but definitely a more difficult strategy, and then you get like some guy that's, you know, thinking, oh hey, if I just run
his
one
own
track.
strategy. He likes his own strategy.
Was it his own strategy?
Yeah, well, no one else did it because it was bad. But still. He was the first one to do a high round with it.
Yeah. Because he got that off my video, like how I did that early round thing, and then whatever. And then he, instead of walking around double tap, he just went downstairs because it's easier, I guess. But it's essentially what I did in that 75 game for the early rounds.
Oh, well, I see.
Okay, so next topic.
Yes.
Oh, well, the next topic is I don't know anything about this. Ex-modders acting legit.
Okay, I guess I'll say something
luck.
first.
Yeah, good luck, guys.
Okay, so in my 100% honest opinion, so okay, well actually before that, you know, so basically there's been a lot of modders recently. You know, there's been modders in the past, Swasp, you know, Super Hands, and then now there's starting to be people like Wings is modding again. I mean, who the fuck doesn't know that? You know, Wings is modding again. You get people like, you know, Specialist who is modding no power games for whatever reason. I still don't know like why you would do that, but you know, he was doing that. And then who else was caught modding recently?
Insane Overweight.
Oh yeah.
Insane Operative.
Insane Operative was caught modding too. And then, you know, Insane Operative goes out and he's like, you know, fuck this. I'm gonna get the 5 record, which he ended up getting the 5 record. We're still unclear if that's modded or not. I'm not going to say that it is modded. I'm not going to say that it is modded,
It's
but
on Zombie Records.
I'm not going to say that it isn't at the same time. Like, whatever. I don't have a problem with Specialist or Insane Operative whatsoever. I just think that they kind of fucked up in the past whenever they modded, and I honestly, you know, I just most people, I mean, like Wings of Oblivion, we tried to give him a second chance, or I think we even tried to give him like 4 or 5 chances, and the guy still was modding. The dude actually trolled me. One of the only times that he's actually been a successful troll was during his No Novas game. I'm like, damn, Wings, round 80, no downs, no Novas, this is pretty good, bro. Like, damn, good shit, dog. And then a few days later, I'm like, whoa, this dude's on 105, and then Frugal's like, yeah, he's modding, you know that? And I'm like, oh.
Like 25 times
But,
in the alley.
and the thing is he's live streamed his whole Kino game. He live streamed the whole thing. So how do you even? People have gotten so good at hiding mods and stuff, especially the ones that get 0 viewers on Twitch. Well, not really 0 viewers, but not that many. Nobody's gonna sit there and scrutinize the gameplay for hours, like Pish said earlier. I mean, nobody wants to do that shit. I mean, I certainly wouldn't. Fuck that. I mean, I don't really care that much if somebody's a modder, but maybe if somebody was beating my world records or something, okay, then maybe. But I mean, shit, man. I just don't really know what to say. I mean, I honestly would probably have to say that, if you were caught modding before, then I would definitely doubt your record, but, if you get caught modding again, then go fuck yourself. You're not getting any more.
Well, Prime just said that, like, you can't, like, no one's gonna sit there and watch hours of gameplay, but then he says the Insane Operative's 5 games legit, yet he streamed the entire thing, so, I mean, what opinion are you gonna choose here? Like, we're gonna watch hours of gameplay, or he doesn't count? Like, I mean, that's what I'm sort of saying. Like, I don't think any of those guys deserve anything, because not only when you mod, you're not only, like you're not lying to people, you're not cheating the game yourself, but you're stealing from someone who actually got that record and put in hours upon hours of hard work and effort into actually achieving something that took something away from them or whatever, really. But I mean, it's sort of like, honestly, like, modding video games to get attention is like one of the most pathetic things you can do in this community, and you're a pretty sad human being for doing something like that. But honestly, my own opinion is like, I think if you mod once, you know exactly what you're doing. Like, if you're trying to mod and getting away with the game and secrecy and hide your mods and count as legit world record, you know exactly what you're doing. You know the consequences that you're going to be faced with. So I think that should just be a one-time thing. It's not like you're doing something that you're not going to get criticized for, or banished from the community, really. But I mean, I just don't understand why people can accept people who mod multiple games. You have Wings modding numerous games upon numerous games. You have Insane Operative modding a First Room and an Ascension co-op, which I don't understand why you would do that. You have Specialist modding no power games. That is so pathetic on so many different levels. But I mean, like, what resorts to these people doing these stupid things? But like I said, I mean, it's sort of just like a one striking you're out type of thing, in my own opinion. I can sort of understand, though.
Yeah. Okay, actually, everybody else use their opinion before I even say anything.
I just went to the bathroom, so
You were such a bitch. We were talking about, here we'll have Frugal talk first, or Beasting.
Okay, sure. I don't really know what to say, though. Let's see.
Like, do you think that modders should be accepted as, like, legit? Maybe get, another chance, and then, hey, if you're caught modding again, then, you're never getting put up on the leaderboards again, or, what do you think? Or maybe they should just be considered not legit forever, considering, they modded once before.
Well, in the end, like, it comes down to what you think. It doesn't really matter what I think. If you don't want to consider the record, then in your mind, they don't have the record. It kind of comes down to how you want to think rather than...
Well, that's what I'm asking. I'm asking, like, what do you think?
What do I think? But
yeah.
I don't fucking know.
What really matters is just whatever website we go off of says.
That's the thing.
Because now that everybody hates zombie records, we don't really have an official site. Now it comes down to pure word of mouth.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you're basically basing, your opinion off of somebody else's opinion, which just so happens to be the overseer of the website. And in his opinion, he's gonna be like, because he's a known modder, he's gonna be like, me modder, me relate to this guy, him accepted, except for Wings, because he hates Wings, and Wings hates him.
That's fucking weird.
It seems like you're gonna discredit people's games just because of your personal opinions of them. Seems like that's what people are doing nowadays. Like, everybody hates Wings. So even though he streams his games these days, like it's still
Not
legit.
everybody.
Well, I mean, what I don't understand is like Wings can stream a 150 on Shangri-La, and people don't consider that legit, in which they haven't found valid evidence that he's modded in. But then people accept Insane Operative's 206.5 game, and I mean, no one has really found concrete evidence that he modded either. So I mean, but then people say that Wings' 150 Shangri-La game was modded, but not Insane Operative. More people say that Insane Operative's game was legit than it was modded. So I mean, what is it gonna be? Like, I mean, there has to be like a certain rule established, in my own opinion, even though not too many people really care about zombies, and it's just whatever. But I mean, who's gonna be the exception? Like, since Wings modded like 2 more games than Insane Operative, none of his games should be considered legit. But since Insane Operative's not a super troll douchebag asshole to most people, then I guess his games are counted legit. Like, I mean, that's what it comes down to. Like Ferg said, like personal opinion. Since Wings a douchebag to everybody, people just say fuck this guy. His records don't count. But then he's also a modder. And then Insane Operative, like he hates a few people and a few people hate him, but nothing compared to Wings. And people are like saying that his games are legit, even though he's modded 2 or I don't even know how many games he's modded really. And he's glitched as well. He did 2 staffs on Origins at once. So.
What were you gonna say, Fish?
I just saw Frenzy's video ended.
Oh, yeah, oh yeah, I was switching out footage.
Gotta have him lined up.
But, yeah, I do think that, no, I don't even have that installed, but anyways, I do think that something will need to happen where somebody just ends up putting their foot down after so many times, or, you know, even like 2 times. I think that 2 times would be the maximum, where it's like, okay, hey, you know, this guy was caught modding not once but twice. Fuck them. You know, they aren't getting any more.
Operative was caught twice. I mean, he caught modding a first room on 5 and Ascension co-op. And the funniest thing is how these modders are caught. They're caught by other modders. Wings is like the white collar. Like, have you guys ever seen white collar, like criminals catching criminals? Like, that's what that show's about. Like, it sort of reminds you of these modders and zombies catching other modders.
Well, just because, like, modders, you know, like I said, people have gotten so good at hiding mods these days where, you know, it just, unless they're being a complete idiot or they forget to turn off their demigod mode or something while they're trapped in a corner in the alley on Kino and then surrounded and get red screened and survive 5 hits after getting red screened, there's no way they're gonna get caught. There's legitimately no way. Or unless they upload a fucking, you know, video of them getting 378 kills on No Man's Land or whatever it was, and then, you know, or 380 something kills on No Man's Land, and then claiming a new teleporter strategy or some shit to be legit. That's not modding. That's just you being a troll. Like, I'm sorry. That's just, you know, that's nothing like modding. Like, you're just doing that for attention. And that's what some of these people are doing. People like Madomaster and Alvar, they fell right into Wing's trapdoor, man. You know, that's just like what it was. And I don't know, I think that people, you know, just like I said, two strikes, fuck you, and just ignore what that person's doing. You know, I don't, because you know, they could get even better at hiding the mods. I mean, like Iraqmup said earlier, Wings has been caught modding, you know, 173 no novas on Shang and a bunch of other games, and then just this one game, it just so happens that he didn't get caught modding this game, and he got round 150 on Shangri-La. I'm not sure. Wait, did we catch him modding yet, or?
No one has found concrete evidence of him doing it.
But
that Wash guy, I don't know for sure, but I think he was telling people that he thinks that his 99 Shang was like.
He doesn't know.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
He wouldn't know because he's going up the tunnel every time. He wouldn't be able to tell if he was using hacks or whatever.
And besides, this is not a credible source of information either. Not only did he fake having cancer, but he also claimed that Zeus Cannon's round 120 co-op is modded, and he's making a video podcast episode or whatever of them exposing Zeus Cannons, which there's nothing to expose except for the amount of sleepers and downs that they took, and which was just too much. So, anyways, I don't know, is there really anything else? Like, yeah, and then also, as I said previously, I mean, these are people that are modding, and they're getting little to no viewers in their stream, and, you know, nobody's gonna catch them modding if they're not getting, you know...
Yeah, if nobody's actually... If they have 5 people in the stream, but only, like, one of them's actually watching, and even then, maybe he's not really watching, he just has the browser open while he's doing something else.
Yeah, exactly. Because I know that in most zombie streams these days, I'm not really, you know, watching them too much. Yeah,
Exactly. I barely even actually look at the gameplay. I pop out the chat and do something else, because gameplays, I've seen it before.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless they're doing something new or different, or a challenge, or a first room, like, I don't really care. I don't watch.
Beasting, do you have, like, any real thoughts and opinions that you want to throw in there?
Not really. I just feel like, you know, if they do it, that's on them. They know in their conscience at the end of the day if it's legit or not. So, I mean, you're only lying to yourself. And that's just the way I see it in this story. There's not really much to really say about it.
Alright, well, with this being said, one of the curveballs me and Rack'em Up were thinking about, you know, talking about, which this question is going to be so dark, so devious, that it makes you want to leave the stadium right now.
We already 50 minutes into the podcast.
But anyways, Frugal, I want to hear your opinion first, and everybody in here has to give concrete, you know, evidence to why they feel that this person, you know, okay, so anyways...
Oh yeah, this first question is the softest of the 3.
No.
Oh, you're asking one of the juicier ones first?
Yeah. Who has a higher chance of being a modder?
Oh my god.
Draculantern, Mackin Rules, Monster, LT Hollerin, Jam, Awkwardly Sneaky, etc. And all of us need to give our opinions on why.
Oh my god.
You can...
That's a lot.
Yeah. Here, I'll post a list of options, but I mean, there's even more. If you can give me somebody else, you know, that you want to know.
And I have to go first. Are you kidding?
Yeah. It's gotta be you.
Can we say the same answers? We don't have to.
Well, yeah, but you need to give concrete evidence to why.
Okay, so first of all, who's not in the chat right now?
I think Mackin is the only one in the chat.
Okay, so yeah, Mackin, you're definitely legit, I know that for sure. But you know what? I'm gonna just go with the person who I think I can handle it the most. You know who's definitely a fucking modder out of all those guys? Fucking LT Hollerin, man.
Oh,
that 190 on fucking oh no, 160 on Varuk, dude. There's no fucking way that's legit. There's no way. My evidence is just you know, his name's LT Hollerin. There you go.
Cool. Okay, you're not even gonna mention the fact that he posts OP faces every fucking time he talks in chat. Not even in chat, too. He just puts like OP whenever, you know, he's leaving a comment on YouTube, and then I think the description of one of his videos on YouTube was even just OP, and that's the only thing it was. I'm like, you're really this much of a fat ass to not write out a description to the point where you're just gonna put the OP face? You know, fucking dislike your video and unsub, bro. But
what
no.
I'm saying is